All right,
All right,
everybody.
we live.
What's going on? We live, baby. We back. Another day, another
Sorry for the wait.
episode. Apologies for the Knicks getting their ass whooped real quick, so we had to do a little seance prayer circle. You know what I'm saying? To make sure everything is copacetic. But if I was part of ABC and ESPN, I wanted to go seven. Knicks need to lose today.
Oh my
Anyway.
God. Whose side are you on? God damn.
Hey man, I'm on good basketball, baby. I'm on good basketball, man. We back and we got a fun one, as you can see. No deep dives into legislation, no courtrooms. Well, yeah, a little bit.
A little bit courtroom.
A little bit of courtrooms. Three stories that have been living rent free in my head kind of all week, and I kind of need to talk about them out loud with somebody.
Yeah, man. So, what do you want to talk about?
Okay, Cody, my QB1. Speaking of QB1, we got this college quarterback.
Great segue.
We got this college quarterback, man, and we didn't talk about this fool a few times, man. He got caught gambling, which is an absolute no-no in this space. He got suspended by the NCAA, of course, which he needed to be, and then he took this to the federal court and he won. Now, temporarily, it's carrying that win, but the win is the big thing nonetheless. Man.
Yeah, exactly. And in our second story, we got a man, a Lego collector, um, who consigned a $200,000 Star Wars collection to a store. The store got
Mm.
sold. The new ownership kept his Legos, and now the entire state of Utah is involved.
Had to be Utah, right?
Yeah, Utah PD is in the Lego business now, bro.
Then we got Oba, baby, the most physically gifted man in WWE right now, man. Everybody wants him to be the headline of SummerSlam against Roman Reigns. And we're gonna talk about it. This is what we do, man. If you ain't know nothing about everything we reasonable wrestling here. You know what I'm saying? And we talk wrestling. So professional wrestling is something that we have a long documented history with, and it's been a long and documented history that we do the right thing. So we're gonna bring it to the forefront about that.
For sure, for sure. Three different stories, so let's get into it, guys.
Brandon Sorsby, which college you want to name? Oklahoma State? You want to name Cincinnati? You want to name New Texas Tech? Anyway, he's been around like a. He gets hit with a suspension from NCAA for gambling on sports. Now, shout out to Malik Beasley. Shout out to Terry Rozier. They are getting dragged through the mizza right now
Mm-hmm.
because they. Uh, so let's be fair. He gambled just like they did.
Yeah.
That part cannot be disputed. But the NCAA has rules about athletes betting on sports, and Sorsby broke them all. He broke them all.
Yeah, man. But here's what's also a very real thing about this whole situation. The man went and got a federal judge in Texas to
Oh,
issue a temporary
oh.
injunction so he could keep playing while the lawsuit plays out. Now he's back. Now he's back on the field while actively suing the organization that tried to bench him in the first place.
What my guy Steven they call it texts. If you know the right people in Texas,
Texas.
we get away with anything. And in our
Hmm.
opinion, the most honest thing we can say about the situation is there's no real consequences for this guy, right?
Yep.
Not because the rules don't exist, but because suddenly or supposedly he's supposed to be that good. Played for Cincinnati. Anyway, the moment a team is looking at
Other
losing their quarter,
sauce.
there's hey, I'm just trying to say, man, when anyway, quarterbacks going into this season have to look over their shoulders because the entire calculus changes. You go down, he has the availability to get picked up because everybody and everything gets real flexible, real fast when that talent is quote unquote irreplaceable.
Exactly, man. And that's the part of the story that doesn't get said enough. The NCAA came down hard on him the suspension, the eligibility threat, the whole thing, right? He was supposed to be in a supplemental draft for the NFL, potentially. And then a federal judge looked at the case and said, hold on. And now Sorby's back practicing with the team. While his lawyers and the NCAA have to go through this whole thing back and forth in a Texas courtroom. Now, tell me that's not a talent tax. They talk about pretty privilege. There's talent privilege too, and I think he got that. Now, and I mean, let's put it in comparison. Like, tell me a 3-star prospect gets the same outcome.
Bro, we don't even have to have that conversation because he doesn't. We both know he don't. The rules exist, the consequences exist, and then the talent walks in and the conversation quietly changes, right? That's not new. That's sports and politics.
Yes, indeed. Now, the NCAA called the judge decision deeply concerning and broadly destabilizing.
Whatever the that means. Ain't that what Vince Staples said? Whatever that means. They called it deeply concerning and broadly destabilizing.
Yeah,
All right.
verbatim, man. They filed their appeal the same day because they understand that even if Sorsby's situation is unique to him, the legal precedent he's setting is available to every athlete who comes after him. Think about this. Win this fully, and you've handed every future suspended athlete a roadmap to, get no consequences. That part is very real, regardless of how talented he is, supposedly.
Sorsby's fine. He was always going to be fine. And let's be honest. The real interesting question is what's going to happen to the next kid who isn't him. And to be honest, he'll be in jail. If he ain't him and he ain't 5-star, he ain't talented, that boy going to jail.
Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the Legos. I need a moment with the Legos, okay?
Hey, take your moment because I'm interested in my damn self.
All right, so let's keep it. Let me inform y'all what's going on because this is a really interesting story that came across that's been going on for like the past 2 weeks. So the internet has been buzzing about this guy named RecklessBen. And this man has like 1.3 million subscribers on YouTube. He's a YouTuber, and God bless this man because he's doing God's work. And so, I say this with full respect, man. Like this man helped. Um, this man is helping a man whose father built a Star Wars Lego collection worth $200,000, not $200, $200,000. Now listen, guys, that's a whole car payment. That's a down payment on a really nice house in certain parts of this country in Legos.
Bro. No, not Lagos, Nigeria. In Lagos. Okay.
Yeah, Legos, not Legos. Legos. For sure. Yeah, man. He made it all in Legos, man. So it's worth $200,000, and the original owner consigns this collection to a store. And when you consign it to a store, they're supposed to take it and display it and sell it and get the then the owner gets gets the money, and the store takes a small percentage. So that's standard arrangement. They display it, they move pieces for him, he retains ownership. The store gets sold though, and now the new ownership comes in, and somewhere in the transition, his $200,000 collection of Star Wars Legos just becomes theirs. No conversation, no check, just we own the store, we own the stuff in the store.
What Melissa Ford used to do when she was on Joe Budden? A bullshit. A bullshit.
That's Ish. Ish me saying that shit.
That's what she used to get Liddy on the show. Now, for real, a bullshit. If you own the store, you don't own my shit, nigga. I leased this out to you, nigga. But anyway, listen, we are fully, completely, 100% on Reckless Ben's and the owner's side on this. There's no debate. There's no both sides in it. You won't get that from me. You consign that collection. It has a paper trail. Those are the original owners of the Legos. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. What kills me is the response the owner's son got when he first started to try to handle this quietly, like before this became a big story. The police department says that he wasn't moving fast enough, which shouldn't be a thing if there's a paper trail. The franchise had his collection sitting in there like inventory, and instead of waiting for the system that wasn't responding, this guy's son picked up the phone and he started documenting everything, which think about if he didn't. This would just be a lost cause at this point. Every detail he picked up, every visit, every non-answer, he documented it, he got video, and he put it all on social media. Then he reached out to RecklessBen.
Hey, that's a smart boy. And I ain't gonna hold you, man. It's some white boys that know they power, boy, and they use it for good.
I was gonna
Respect to
say
you, man.
that, and
Hey,
we need good people
just-
out there,
yeah,
and
be good people like that.
yeah,
So what we're gonna talk about is that even though it was put on social media, it's national news. Nigga, Chidi brought it to me. I'm like, what the fuck are you
yeah,
talking
it's a
about?
2 week story for sure. But yeah,
Talking about you, we talk about Legos, we talk about Reckless Ben. Nigga, I had to subscribe. Nigga, what he talking about? You know what I'm saying? All because Reckless Ben understood that something most people don't that they need to understand. When nobody will hear you, you make them listen. You don't wait for the institution to decide you matter. You make it impossible for them to pretend you don't. So respect the Reckless Ben, man.
$200,000 in Legos. The people are now in this man's corner, in RecklessBen's corner, and that's the power of documentation, guys. So just if anybody's trying to screw you over, document that shit. That's the power of the internet. And honestly, we gotta say we love to see it, bro. We love to see justice happening real time due to people speaking out.
Now, talk about justice. Talk about speaking out. Talk about Uber Femi. All right, let's get real about this.
Let's get real about it.
All right, so we as wrestling fans, we done talked about stuff a lot, right? We done spoke about a lot of stuff. We didn't quote unquote try to let our voice be heard about a lot of things. But this talent right here is not in question. 6'5", 290 pounds. Move like someone who ain't never got the memo that, hey, man like your size ain't supposed to move like that. All right. 28 years old. Everything that wrestling looks for when it's looking for the next generation superstar. But he's black. Oh, but has it? The whole building feels different when he's in it. That part is not up for debate.
But he's black. Yeah, and here's where I want to pump the brakes a little bit.
I'll whisper that. All right, God damn it.
Hey man, you can see it, right? Not only, but listen, because everybody's pointing out, because everybody's pointing to Roman Reigns saying, "Let's see how we do in the summer." He said that right after WrestleMania in the post show, right? And they're seeing that as proof that okay, Roman's up to face this guy. Roman's setting this thing up for SummerSlam potentially, and I hear that. But I also know professional wrestling, and I know that what gets said publicly and what they decide in that building are not nearly always in the same conversation whatsoever.
Well, I mean, yeah, because listen, you still watch wrestling is fake. No, nigga, the backstage politics in WWE is about as real as anything you see on screen.
Yeah.
Real as a motherfucker. So, and we don't watch this company take generational talents and Deshaun Jackson at the 1 yard line, bro. Right? We seen them get the celebration and fumble at the 1 yard line. We spoke
100%.
affirmation about Jacob Fatu. We know we got the Braun Breakers of the world. Man, you could go back further if you want to. They have mishandled things in ways that made no sense from the outside. And nigga, I'm from the outside. So guess what? It don't make no sense, nigga.
Rest in peace,
You know what I'm saying?
Ray. Listen, man, they've done it so many times.
We ain't even going to speak on that. You want me to do it like the Griselda shit, nigga? Where my break poster at, nigga?
There we go. All the memorabilia has to come
We
out.
ain't even got motherfucker talk about, nigga. We live all our raps, nigga. Live all our raps, nigga. What you mean? Yes, yes, nigga. What you talking? And
Facts,
they made this
facts.
this character one of the most hated characters on TV because they didn't know how to realistically formulate this movie star character into a wrestling show. And that was a fumble. That was a fumble, man. Like just flat out. And to be quite honest, we don't know who has heat with who. We don't know who has the ear of who, right? We've heard Seth Rollins speak several times of working with the Bray Wyatt character was difficult to do. That mm, those words to certain ears will make sure that character doesn't get into the spot because it's protected by whoever they spoke to. Like that's real, you know?
Yeah, man. There's a lot of people and certain spots are being protected for sure, man. Roman saying, "Come get this in a post-show moment" is exciting and all, but we all know it's great television, but it might not be exactly what it looks like. It could just be it could be a legend recognizing that the next one is here and wanting to be a part of that moment for sure. Or it might just be Roman knowing that the public statement costs nothing. And what actually gets booked is a different conversation entirely. Right now, we've seen what he did with Jacob Fatu, and he's back to the bloodline shit. For all we know, we might see another Jey Uso and Roman Reigns match at SummerSlam. So I'm gonna pump my brakes for this.
Pump your brakes, you should. But we want the match. So, hey, we're gonna talk about it. Bully Ray, Busted Open Podcast, Sirius XM. Hey boy, you about 7 days late, nigga. We put that in the group chat June 2nd. We want you know what I'm saying? We want the match. And by every metric, that should matter. Ticket sales, merch, crowd reaction. Obafemi deserves, we use that word a lot, deserves to be in the main event conversation right now. That's a fact.
That's a fact, 100%. And we're just saying we've been here before. We've seen the talent standing at the door, we've seen the company look at the door, and we see them book something else anyways.
Don't fumble this one. That's always. Let's
Yeah.
let's do it like this. Don't fumble this one. Yeah. That's all we're saying, man.
Another one.
You don't get too many of these, bro. You don't get too many of these. Not at this
Not many
time.
of these. Not many of these at all, brother.
So tonight, little long monologue. We're gonna talk about Sorsby beating the NCAA for now. RecklessBen got the people in this corner for now, because they're turning on you. And Obafemi standing at the door, and the fans like us is yelling, "Let him in!"
Yeah. Whether they open it or make him kick that motherfucker down, that's the question. We'll see.
Man, everything is for tonight. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
I think gambling's worse than drugs, personally. I think gambling should be illegal before drugs. It's a far worse addiction. There's no guaranteed payoff. Who would shoot up heroin if there's only a 1 in 3,000 chance you get high off it? Nobody. This better be the one, man. Just mortgaged my house 6 times.
Hey, let that ride. Let that ride. Beep, beep, baby.
Oh, Lord. I'm sick of you, and I'm sick of that song, bro. I'm so sick of that shit. Listen, man, welcome to Everything Is, where we talk about everything that matters. We are the zeitgeist. We are the culture. I'm your host, Chidi Bang, with my tag team partner, Chris the Most High, the joint roller Ayatollah himself. What's good, bro?
Knicks getting beat by 30. That's what's good.
Size. Oh, my God. I got a headache.
Hold on, what that nigga Drake say? Sound.
Just guy's Drake obsessed, bro. I can't stand this nigga. Oh God.
It's the only.
damn.
It's the real thing that makes. It's the real thing that gets us going. It gets the blood purple to the podcast. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Gets the people going. It's provocative.
It's the yo. He provocative, but I'm gonna be honest. Rick Ross catching the economy class make that bar hit hard as a motherfucker. Cause
Wait, is he?
yeah, you ain't see it?
Nah, I don't think.
Oh, nigga, they got. Oh, nigga. Hey, yeah, my algo still algoing, nigga. They caught
Really?
Rick Ross. They caught Rick Ross damn that LaGuardia, nigga, with his hood on his head, big ass watch on, your beard colored in like a motherfucker. We know it's you, motherfucker.
You sure it wasn't like a
Nah, it's Ricky Ross. Hold on, let me find it before we shot the show.
Oh my God, I don't even need to see that shit, man. Shout out to Rick Ross. Let's do your thing. Listen, we fly comment. I can't judge nobody, bro.
Yeah, nigga, I'm not the boss. I didn't make my life
Listen,
as
these
Ricky
niggas
Ross the boss.
These niggas are frauds. We didn't know he's a fraud since we knew he was CEO. Like, this guy was a CEO. Like, if you gotta forget that. Like, he said, like, this guy, and we all, like, that's the thing about hip hop and like some of the top rappers right now. They'll do something, we know they're fraudulent, and no one cares. And they'll just move on and be like, oh, that person doesn't write his raps. Oh, that person's a snitch. Oh, that person's a CEO. Oh, it doesn't matter. The song's hot. And you know, we just move on. The guy's a fucking liar. There are a lot of people putting on images. Drake is somebody's a character. He made it up. Ricky Rose is a character. They made it up. They don't live their raps, bro. They are a character. You know, just like WWE to some extent. So I'm not surprised.
Well, no, to WWE, you got some niggas that just say, this me. They just gave me the opportunity to be me.
But that's the
Nas,
that's the Kendricks.
But,
that's, you know, those
no.
people. That's how I look at it.
We can't put just dumb niggas in the box because some of them, again, the accentuation of who you are is who you are, right? So, like, I think we've had this conversation realistically, right? Triple H, Paul Levesque can be seen as a Sean Carter, right? That's him, but they not fake. They've always been MVP, our guy. We've had talks with MVP, and he's like, I don't like that nigga.
Yeah.
And we like, why? And he's like, because he's a goddamn brown noser. He's a motherfucking corporate shield.
He ain't
He's a
real. He's all right, but he's not real. Like,
I mean, that's real to him, though.
Huh?
That's real to him.
But he's been in
Like,
proximity. Recognized real. You know, MVP seems like a real dude, principled man. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying I know Triple H, but I trust a real one's opinion. And then until I get, you know, further notice that, okay, they might have been mistaken. You know, that's how I operate. You know, like, if I'm working with somebody, if you're working with me and you like, yo, Chidi says, oh, that person's a little bit off, you know, you'd be like, all right, maybe you might trust it a little bit more than just, you know.
But the way you can get deceived is if the perceived real endorses the well-known fake. Right, so if we think about what we're talking,
I'll be right back.
Go ahead. I got you, brother. So what I'm talking about with this Rick Ross and Chidi's absolutely correct, right? We know Rick Ross is fake, right? We know he stole the name Freeway Ricky Ross. We know that, right? And we know it's a facade as to, you know, who he is and what he does. But I think what happens is that when we talk about people getting accepted in these spaces. And again, this is probably leading to one of our, you know, our first stories. When your talent allows you to be accepted into these spaces, and we know you not real, and you are accepted by real people, the matrix is now then like exposed realistically. Because now, as like for Brandon Sorsby, right? And then it's just just to connect the two. We've looked at NCAA. Hey, we know you don't know what you're doing. We know that, you know, you don't really have ratings on your establishment. We know that it's kind of the Wild Wild West with this NIL. We know that you kind of really are, but we still look at you as something being real, right? Where sports and all facets of our minds is real. The outcome of things cannot ever permeate an idea that is predetermined or that is fixed, right? Like we have that entrenched in our mind. When the guy gets pinched for gambling, when we've had Hall of Fame, Pete Rose, the 1919 Black Sox. When we got right now Malik Beasley in the NBA without a job, Terry Rozier has to forfeit $26.2 million because he put on a $100,000 bet. When we have these real stories and the real says there are consequences to your actions, but then you have a real entity like the NCAA gives credence to the fuck shit, to the fake shit. And then me and you, we had the conversation. Is his talent good enough to be a first round pick? So then now you got other legitimate NFL billionaire boys club. We talk about GMs, head coaches who talk about not being a distraction. Hey, we'll trade AJ Brown, we'll trade Des Bryant, we'll trade yada yada because we don't want to Terrell Owens, whatever the case may be. We'll trade whoever is a distraction because we can't take it. And you about to bring in a guy with a gambling addiction when everything is sponsored by a gambling motherfucking thing in the right corner of a
But that
podcast.
speaks to the problem. It's not that bad anymore to them. You know, it's not like he's on drugs. It's not like he raped a woman. It's not like he has a domestic violence case. You know, they're like, it's just a little, betting. But what's crazy is that he's betting on his own team. So it calls into question the credibility of the entire game. You know, and even if it wasn't betting on your own team, you're supposed to limit betting. If you have an addiction to betting, that calls into question your character as a human being. But don't.
Well, if you have an addiction to if you have an addiction to betting, nigga, you should be playing football. Like, there's no addiction to okay, and we're here. This is our first story today. Brandon Sorsby. We read it in the monologue. He's a former Oklahoma State quarterback, a former Cincinnati quarterback. He's transferred a few times. And supposedly he's good. And the reason why I said supposedly because, listen, my nigga, those are 2 Power 5 schools. Ain't heard of you, motherfucker. Ain't heard it. I'm old enough to remember Ty Detmer setting the NCAA record in passing yard. I'm that fucking old. I'm old of knowing Joey Harrington, motherfucker, being on the cover of NCAA. I'm old to motherfucking, what's the nigga, what's the quarterback from Oklahoma, White? Oh my God, what's his first name? I think it's he won the Heisman. No, fudge, I forget. I'm just saying, I'm old enough to know medium quarterbacks getting some made pub, my nigga.
Yeah.
And this fucking Brandon Sorsby ain't never came across my ticket.
Come on, AJ McCarron?
Nigga, motherfucker, even AJ McCarron, motherfucker, they got a hype, motherfucker,
bro. Understand? I don't think that you're like so tapped into like. Are you?
Nah, college football.
Yeah.
Hold on, not even. So this is what I'm trying to say. You're in a Power 5 school. You're supposed to be a big time talent, and what I'm trying to say is that your talent is so enormous that it's usurping you gambling not only on your team but on yourself. And I ain't never saw a motherfucking Sports Center highlight of you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
This ain't Josh Allen playing that motherfucker Wyoming, bro. This ain't Wyoming. He playing in Oklahoma State and he playing in Cincinnati. He playing big time schools, bro. That's all I'm saying. I ain't never heard of that nigga.
No, you got a point, bro. I get it. It wasn't like I heard a lot about him, but I'll tell you why he's getting this publicity. Yeah.
Okay.
The Brendan Sorsby saga continuing following yesterday's injunction that would allow him to play this season, despite being ruled ineligible by the NCAA for betting on his own games, his own team's games. Didn't actually play in those games, should be noted. NCAA has appealed, but there's no timetable for getting any kind of response. Meantime, some schools like Georgia and Nebraska have vowed not to play Texas Tech in any sports, and Big 12 brass is meeting to discuss what, if anything, they should do about this. Let's get our senior college football reporter, Brandon Marcello, in here. He's been covering this story very closely. And Brendan, yesterday we had Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark put out a statement reading, quote, "This has created great concern amongst our membership." And he's talking about that injunction that would allow Sorsby to play. The athletic directors did have a meeting today. What came out of that? They're being very tight-lipped about it. They're not wanting anything to leak out. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of opinions, some very strong-worded opinions in there. In fact, some of those we saw yesterday. I don't think anybody in the Big 12 is happy from the administrative level right now. And they're going to be looking at all options to pressure Texas Tech potentially here to step back, reevaluate the situation, and decide whether they want Brendan Sorsby to be on the field this season and what the fallout, if they were to allow that, could be outside of just wins and losses. I'm not talking about, could there be financial penalties that the Big 12 levies against Texas Tech? Could they pull some of their revenue share away from them? There's also bylaws within the Big 12 that says that if a program is showing something along the lines where they're not following the rules and they're not representing the Big 12 as they see fit, they can vote them out. They can vote them out of the conference with a supermajority vote, which I believe would be 12 or 13 of the 16 member schools as of right now.
Now, I don't know. We're going to keep track. I don't know the logistics of voting out a whole team of the Big 12, but to risk all of that for one kid is kind of crazy. But
and I want to make a correction. He didn't go to Oklahoma State. He went to Indiana. He went to Indiana, and then he went to Cincinnati. So I wanted to make that distinct correction.
Thank you. Yeah, but let me talk to you about like the skill set of this kid. First of all,
okay, go ahead,
because I'm not a fan. Let's be real. I'm just telling you his measurements. He's 6'3" feet inches tall, and I get it. The stats won't reflect this, but he's mobile, 235 pounds, and he got a big arm. I'm not gonna pull up the highlights and everything right now, but he's made some nice plays. I'll just leave it at that because I could show it to you, but I mean, who cares at this point? We already get it. He's a talented guy. He's big. He's fast. He got some body to him. People like him don't come across often. So it's just between him and Lenore Sellers. Literally, him and Lenore Sellers are the two guys that are the most athletically gifted quarterbacks in college football coming out potentially next year in the draft. And if Texas Tech lets him, like, you know, if he's out, Texas Tech's season is fucked. They got nobody to back them up because they are asked out. They weren't able to get the quarterback in because they didn't know this was going to happen. So they're desperate for him to play this season. And also, him playing the season will give him a better shot to be drafted higher because he hasn't broken out, but he has that potential. He's the makeup of a Josh Allen. He's the makeup of a Lamar Jackson and a Jalen Hurts, who had a lot of questions coming out of college, but with a little bit of refinement can have an X factor on the field. That's what I'm getting from the conversations surrounding Brendan Sorsby. I'm not saying this. I'm just saying I've done my research on him because I didn't know much about him either. But that's what I'm hearing.
And respect to you by saying that. But I'm telling you right now, they're saying he's a first round pick potentially in a supplementary draft, and he went 7-5 last year as a 12-game starter. He only threw for 2,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. He rushed for another 9. I get that. But again, realistically, okay.
I mean,
you know what?
I'm not saying that he got the whole package. He definitely don't. But this is why he's getting this look. I do not think it's fair. I want to be clear with that. I don't think that this is what he should not be playing. He should not be able to play because of the gambling scam. You cannot bet on your own team, bro, and then say I'm going to rehab, and then everything is all good after that point. I think Brendan Sorsby right now is going to set a terrible precedent for future college athletes. It's particularly the ones who are semi-talented and, you know, looked at and have a little bit of a name to them, you know? So, yeah, I'm not here to cape for him at all. I'm just giving y'all the facts because this is where we're at now. But I do like that we're not the only ones saying this, that, you know, the NCAA has their questions and, you know, the people might, like you said, might be an injunction to vote them out of the conference, which would be unprecedented, honestly.
It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented, but it will be correct. And the reason why I'm saying is that it'll be correct is because you as a conference will be complicit. The institution of the NCAA already did something. We suspended him. He's ineligible. He's ineligible. We don't rock with that. Now, this is the thing that makes me upset. Listen, Texas Tech realistically has the biggest collective in college football. Let's just keep it a buck, right? They literally can open up their wallet and get pretty much whatever they want.
They do,
right?
They can.
You're like they have raised over $63 million since its inception, and this is just one club. It's called the Matadors Club, right? Its co-founder and the billionaire booster is Cody Campbell. Noted that few programs in the country can legitimately match that total fundraising value. Period. They own right now the roster valuation, according to the estimates online of college sports reporters right now. Texas Tech featured the second most expensive roster in college football. Period. Superior in that sentence.
That's wow. That's crazy.
They trailed only the Texas Longhorns. Texas Longhorns.
Okay.
So, unlike any program that allocates the majority of their funds to a couple superstar players, Texas Tech's massive budget is distributed deeply down the depth chart. So, granted, to your whole point, as they spent their money, they paid all of their players, not just this Sorsby guy. So, again, this is what we're saying. Sorsby, play with Indiana. Cut. We see who they got. You seen who they got, Indiana. You seen who they... So this is what I'm trying to say, motherfucker. Nigga wasn't good enough, nigga. You weren't fucking good enough, man. Dozer beat this bitch ass nigga out. He's 6'3", 245. He throw the ball 1,000 yards. Nigga, little bitch ass Mendoza, nigga. Who was not the best.
Don't say that. Stop.
Hold on. Hold on, nigga. Hold on. Mendoza was only the number 1 overall pick this draft. Name me another fucking quarterback. That's my point. If that's my point. So let's put everything in perspective here. Mendoza's not even walking into Kent right now, guaranteed to beat out Kirk Cousins to start in Vegas, who ain't got a motherfucking pot to piss in or a window to throw it the fuck out of. And you telling me they about to have Kirk Cousins start over the nigga Mendoza, who beat this nigga out 2 years ago in Indiana?
Chill. I get it, bro. That framing works. I get it. I hear where you're coming from.
That framing, it don't work. Facts.
That framing works. And it is facts. Because that's why it works. Because it is facts. It is facts. I gotta hand it to you, man. That was sweet. Honestly. But what I'm trying to tell you, bro, people gotten beat out before. Jalen Hurts been beat out by somebody who's worse than him too. Lamar, I'm not sure if he got beat out, but
I won a Heisman, came back, ain't nobody took my job. I got better the next year.
Jalen Hurts, got beat out. Listen, people have been beat out who end up going to the league and being better than they were. I'm just saying the perspective outlook on his physical gifts are what it is. You know what it is, bro. You know the prototype of the quarterback. You know what they're looking for. You know and he's fast, and he's mobile, and he's a big guy who can take a hit. Like that's like, all right. So listen. So somebody's saying, listen to me.
Quarterback, and he don't have it here. He don't have it.
He's still young. I'm just telling you, he's still young. Just like
hold on.
Still young. So you want to put him in a
stop.
position like getting benched for Kirk Cousins? No, they're gonna let him sit and learn. He's still young.
Let me put this in real perspective. Why that white boy get that cop out? Why that white boy get that he too young cop out? He 22. You a fucking grown ass man. Mm-hmm. If you commit a fucking crime, you go to fucking jail. That's real. He knew what the fuck he was doing, bro. He knew what he was doing. It was wrong. So my thing is, when Dez Bryant is the best fucking wide receiver coming out of the motherfucking college, he young. He ain't tell his mom to be a fucking prostitute. He ain't tell his mom to be on drugs. Why the fuck is that held against Dez Bryant when it's the draft process? Why is Lamar Jackson, who's a fucking Heisman winner, and then come back the next year, have better quarterback number? When you talk about athlete, when you talk about run fast, when you talk, nigga, I have better QBR, I have better pass yards, I have better motherfucking touchdown to interception ratio than my Heisman season. And you have Bill Polian tell me I gotta play fucking wide receiver, yet this motherfucker 6'3". No, let him play tight end then. He got such a big frame. Let him be George Kittle then, motherfucker. Okay. Don't let him come in and be the franchise leader as a fucking quarterback.
I hear you.
I'm not going with that.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. And I can't
let him be motherfucking George Kittle, nigga, rather than goddamn be motherfucking nigga.
No, you're right, because you're right. With black quarterbacks, it's a whole different story. You know, we know what the conversation would be if they're black, and I'm not gonna hold you like I hear you.
Jalen Hurts barely got a chance in Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts, when he left Alabama, he had to literally write Heisman on his forehead when he went out there through the ball, nigga.
Yeah,
like,
man.
He had to fucking get it.
Yeah, they constantly do
tough.
that with us.
Yeah. And I don't even want to do that with. Let's be real. It's not even just. Let's not even put it in a black quarterback. We talking about black skill positions. We talk about Ruben Bain Jr. just dropped down in the draft for some shit that happened 3 years ago, and the family said, "Nigga, we don't want no ties to this."
And you got short arms.
He was the best fucking defensive end on the field, and he had games on national fucking TV to prove it, nigga. This Brandon Sorsby nigga falling out the sky, nigga want to talk about, oh, wait till he get into Sean McVay. The nigga, they just got
I did not say that.
Or whatever the fuck, nigga.
Like, listen, don't make me have
to. Sean McVay like, fuck, nigga, we could have got this, nigga. We got Ty Simpson.
Oh, come on. See, don't make me have to defend Ty Simpson again. Listen, I'm not even going to get into that. But listen, I'm a Ty Simpson guy. I mean, I'm sorry, bro. Yeah, no, 100% with the Sorsby thing. I'm just giving y'all the facts. I hope he would have went to jail too. If I'm being completely honest with you, this is not fair. It's not fair. This is not justice. This is honestly just entitlement. This is extreme entitlement. And you just go to rehab, come out, and then just gonna play. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Well, that's why we were like in the monologue. We're like, yeah, he's gonna be fine. And I'm like, he is gonna be fine. Because guess what? The worst thing that could have happened is he doesn't play college and he get picked up by a team in the NFL. Wow, what a punishment! Like that's crazy to me. You know, on the face of it all, you should be, charged for betting on your own team, bro. Like, this is not okay. It's a criminal prosecution. Why has not that been a conversation? But I want to get the full context of why people are looking at it from that standpoint. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And
but my thing is bro. We talking about. I named him, and Terry Rozier had to get back his chicken. 26.2.
Oh, man,
Malik Beasley had a contract ready to go, nigga, and teams did not. He didn't play all season. Bro, we talking about Damon Jones just got. I mean, this is all different gambling stuff,
bro.
Huh?
Get Reggie Bush's Heisman, bro.
They gave it back to him, but that shit don't mean nothing now.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah, I think they gave it back to him, but that don't mean nothing now. And so I'm looking at it right now. I just looked it up. I said, what is the difference between Terry Rozier and how is this different? Terry Rozier's career and current situation is drastically different from the most active. What the fuck that got to do with him betting? Because all I see is a $10,000 difference. Brandon Sorsby bet $90,000. The allegation against Terry Rozier is that while he was playing with Charlotte Hornets, Terry Rozier accepted a $100,000 bribe. Now, Is the difference is Brandon Sorsby bet on his team and he didn't play? Is the difference is that Brandon
I
Sorsby
don't
didn't
know.
bet on his team? That's what I'm saying. But but that is
That's a good
what I'm
question.
trying to. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Pete Rose didn't play. Nigga, he was a manager. He was a manager. He didn't play. He had you telling me just because Brandon Sorsby didn't play, he didn't have an outcome of the game. We haven't seen sports gambling bets rings happen where I think we just saw it. The guy gave the playbook to the other team. Right, like, hey, nigga, we run corner four seams. You know what I'm saying? That's what we run. You know, like you know what I mean? Just for some extra chicken. You telling me that this just because he went on DraftKings? Yes, of course he made the bet of the nigga under. He in the coaching room. He in the coaching meeting. He know the game plan ain't to get this nigga 17 carries. I'm here. Duh. He ain't got to play to have that inside information. Damon Jones, who just copped the plea in basketball because he knew injury statuses of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Nigga just in the group chat texting Chidi and Rich and Ron. Hey, yeah, at the game today, Ron, shit, yeah, just found out Ron ain't playing. Ain't shit. And so Chidi and Ron going on motherfucking FanDuel. Under. You know what I'm saying? They tied that shit to my man David. He ain't got no job no more. But for this little white boy, now mind you, again, we already talking about Texas Tech money runs deep. Now, before I leave, you want to say you want to lay out the facts? And shit, let me go ahead and lay the facts out too before we leave this conversation.
Sure.
Right. The judges on this case, they have been linked and tied to Texas Tech as graduates. So alumni, that's what we call those people.
Exactly.
So the original trial judge was a Texas Tech alumnus, Judge Philip Hayes. Let's put his name out there. The lawsuit was originally assigned to the 99th District Court in Lubbock County under Judge Hayes. Because he holds degrees from both Texas Tech University and Texas Tech School of Law, he recused himself from the case to avoid conflict of interest.
Okay.
But you don't think that judge got buddies? You don't think that judge... This is what I'm trying to say. I ain't complicit. This is plausible deniability. But you telling me, just like we had the conversation that coaches don't go drinking with one another. Coaches don't go on vacation with one another. Coaches don't have a group chat. You telling me judges don't have a conversation? Judges ain't got comrades in the facility. Judges who also are non-alumnus of your come on,
good old
man.
boy.
Come on, man. So we got so the judge that granted the injunction was a non-alumnus. Let's just put that in perspective. The judge that granted the injunction was a non-alumnus of Texas Tech. He earned his degrees from the University of Texas at Arlington and the Houston Law Center. University of Houston Law Center. So he was the one who granted the injunction. Now, the person who granted the judge who was on the appeal, the judges that was on the appeal, all four sitting justices on that appeal court, Judy Parker, Lawrence Doss, Alex Yarbrough, Laura Pratt, all fucking graduated from Texas Tech University School of Law, nigga.
Okay.
So you want to talk about facts, like Trick Willie say, let's talk about
Let's talk about it. Nah, man. You just lay the hammer down on them. I really do. The more and more I see things and how things work, it's who you know, bro. Like every time I fucking have a story on here, it's all these insider trading bullshit conversations happening and saying do this and do that and we got you. And that speaks to our next conversation even, you know. But before we get up out of here, like How do you see this ending up? Because my prediction is this guy can't play. Like, he can't. He can't, or else you're taking down the entire institution. Like, really. Or else we can just bet on whatever. The whole thing is now fraudulent, if he plays.
This is the conversation I've always said and I had on a podcast, bro. I told you. You can no longer put the toothpaste back in the tube, bro. And with none of this, with how we see politics, lobbying, clearly judges in the tank for the alumni, the NIL collective, the money that's put behind there, the billion. Hey, bro, we not finna talk about Sagnetti in Indiana and Mendoza and not motherfucker talk about Mark Cuban being the biggest donor. We not finna talk about that. Like this, that's what we're talking about. We talking about these billionaires who are able to influence everything from politics to college sports.
To law, to court, to police officers, police sergeants. It's everywhere, bro. And it's right in front of our face. And that's my thing.
Right in front of our face, bro.
If he plays, it's like, man, burn this whole thing down. Like, why should I even watch? Like, oh, bro, all the corruption we talk about, man, we talk about the rest, we talk about all types of things where we're like, people are putting their lives on the line, and we're going here playing around like this is fucking Jenga, like this is fucking Monopoly, like this is fucking, a chess match, and everybody's a pawn. And that's the sick part to me, is that there has to be repercussions for this kid. And if there's not, you're setting a crazy precedent. And I'm just glad that it's not just us saying it, that the NCAA is saying it too. And we'll see how this follows up. We'll see where it goes, because I didn't expect this story to get this big when I first brought it up, but it's a big deal, bro. This is gonna set a huge precedent for college sports and sports at large, period. Because once you get one person passing by and getting away with some of this shit, bro, it's only
Bro, once you let this little nigga do it in college sports, what is it not going to make these billionaires with all they homies, all these niggas back at the crib, all these niggas trying to get a bag, all these niggas hanger-oners? Nigga, download that Hard Rock Bet app, nigga. I'm only doing 22 tonight. I know the over say 25. I'm only doing 22, man. I'm only throwing for 377 today. I know it say 400. Nigga, I know my over under completions is 15. Nigga, I'm gonna do 30. Like, nigga, you have like, bro. But and this is what I'm trying to say. Quarterback,
crazy, yo. You have so much control of the game.
Quarterback has so much control of the game, and this is what I'm trying to say. They always say the quarterback is the extension or the CEO of a franchise. Now, I get it. Our CEO of our country is a corrupt crybaby piece of ass. And people look at that as the extension of the United States and be like, hey, we don't want to deal with you. Think about that as Texas Tech is doing that right now. The whole conference is like, nigga, if you let this nigga play on your team, bro, we'll forfeit the bread. We'll forfeit the TV contract, nigga. Fuck it. We'll be in breach of contract, nigga. It's bigger than Nino Brown. Them niggas in court right now said, nigga, it's bigger than Nino. Nigga, we'll drop cases into Brother Akbar. Nigga, they drop. Nigga, they don't give a fuck right now.
They're saying that they're thinking about like, yo, we gonna vote these niggas out. Y'all want to be a school? I want to play college football this way. All right, let's get y'all. Y'all do it over there. We ain't playing y'all. Your school's already saying they're not playing them. That's fucking crazy, yo. Like, well, let's see how this turns out, because it ain't looking good. We're here in June. We still got 2 more months till college football starts. And
now, it all depends on who this boy is represented by, because you know that matters too.
Yeah.
And if he's represented by the right people, he got Texas Tech money behind him, Texas money behind him. The boy got the lawyers to fight. Clearly, the boy went up against federal court, got the injunction. The boy got some backing. And to your point, Texas Tech got to have him succeed, or else their collective and their money that they put into the team matters not. Because what the fuck you gonna do without a quarterback, nigga?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Oh
they
my God.
have
And all
to
the
do
talent they have in that
everything.
squad. Like
They
our
have
first round pick came from there last year. We got David Bailey, bro, and I know it wasn't just him that made that team go, but imagine it. I mean, the likelihood of y'all getting first round pick outside of defense, let's be real, it's gonna be slim to none. The wide receivers are gonna get hurt, tight ends, offensive line, everybody gonna get hurt if y'all don't get some motion. And all the teams, all the players that were like, yeah, they're leaving next year. Like, if if shit don't go the right way, like I
even
imagine
next year,
that.
you got niggas out forfeit the bread and say, fuck it, I'll sit out here. Because niggas made money last year. You got to think about the whole infrastructure, bro. You got to think about the
Crazy.
whole infrastructure. You got to think about when you used to
The
transfer, you had the
domino
red
effect
shirt.
is correct.
You
Yeah.
when you transfer, you had the red shirt. And when you transfer, nigga, you used to have your coach sign off where you go. Look at Cam. Why the fuck you think Cam knew? You want to talk about a prototype? You want to talk about a nigga that was 6'5", 260, motherfucker, rocking arm, ended up being an MVP, motherfucker, rookie of the year. You talking about a nigga like that? And Urban Meyer said, bitch, you can go anywhere but the SEC. That motherfucker had to go to JUCO. When he left Florida, nigga, Urban Meyer said, yeah, you can go, but your next year can't be in the SEC, nigga.
That's correct.
And he had to go. That is how the transfer used to go. Now, bitch, he about to be in his third school in 4 years. Man,
Yeah, there's an issue there.
congratulations. You
You
played
played
yourself. You played yourself.
Listen, when we
Hey,
talk about, huh?
I was about to say, go ahead. Get this nigga
Nah.
off my damn screen.
When we talk about you know, people knowing each other and quid pro quo and just knowing people to get an advantage in a position that in a situation that requires justice, but you know the man, this person's whoever, the relationships that change people's livelihood due to proximity, and so that justice does not take place. It happens everywhere, and it happened to this particular case out there in Utah to a gentleman who collected Legos. And I want to show y'all the story so y'all can see it for yourself. This guy, shout out to RecklessBen on YouTube, who's been he's a documentarian essentially, but he does a lot of investigative stuff and exposing corruption. And I don't know how he be getting the footage, but he'll be getting footage of like cameras and all types of shit that he shouldn't have the wherewithal to get, like the tools to get. But I don't know. I gotta just show y'all what he's been able to do for this family who, let's keep it a buck. The father is sick. He has cancer. So right now he is in a place where, all right, I have all these Star Wars, collectibles, and I gave it to a store to sell. And over time over time that gives him money. So like the whole store is full up with this guy's collection, and over time that would give him money. As people bought it, he would get his piece, and the store would take a little piece of what happened. So I'm gonna um let them tell it or show it, because I think that his channel RecklessBen will explain it a lot better than I can tell y'all. So shout out to RecklessBen. Here it is.
Go ahead. It's a great video.
Yeah, I started right here.
media about them everywhere.
Hear it?
Brian thought that this would be the
Yeah, I can
perfect
hear it.
store to finally
You can
sell
turn it up a little
his
bit if you
dad's
can.
Lego Star Wars collection.
So I wrote up a
The reason he's reaching out to me is because the police are covering this entire thing up. And at this moment, I promised Brian that I would not end this video until I get his entire world record Star Wars collection back. But anyways, the thief of this collection is actually a corporation called Bricks and Minifigs.
Bricks and Minifigs, the biggest toy store of its kind.
Is the largest toy store.
Bricks and Minifigs were not just your average Lego store.
For collectors, Bricks and Minifigs is basically seen as the best and safest way to sell your Lego collections.
I'm selling my Legos. So what I'm planning to do with them is take them to my local Bricks and Minifigs.
Because there's so much positive media about them everywhere, Brian thought that this would be the perfect store to finally sell his dad's Lego Star Wars collection.
So I wrote up a contract.
In the contract, it says that these are still the family's Lego sets, but every time one gets sold, the store gets to keep a small percentage of each sale.
This was a store's worth of inventory. So that store that day was nothing but my dad's collection. Like all the shelves filled. They had to bring in extra shelves and filled the whole party room with shelves.
But the owner of the franchise, this woman, well, her husband had to actually leave the country due to some work-related reasons.
My husband and I were planning on moving out of the country.
For what? You stealing?
To let them know, hey, this is something that's coming up in the next like 4 to 5 months.
She told the Bricks and Minifigs head corporation that she was planning on selling the store, so the corporation actually was able to find a buyer to buy it from her.
They let me know that they had somebody who was interested in purchasing a franchise in the area. He was going to be in town and he was going to stop by and just take a look at it. Wasn't until Brandon got there that he informed me that they were terminating my franchise agreement. We were getting threats from Brandon and from corporate that if we didn't leave the store immediately, the police were going to be called. I told corporate I wasn't comfortable leaving that night without the inventory. I was also told I was not going to be able to stay there long enough to do that inventory.
But we don't just have to take this woman's word for it. She was actually able to save all the security camera footage from that night, proving that everything she just said is true.
All the footage and evidence is there. In the security cam footage, it's him at the store kicking her out. In that footage they sent us is Crystal asking him, how am I supposed to pay this guy? These are sets he has not been paid for.
These are ones that he has not been paid his percentage yet. And if I don't have the tickets, I won't know how much I need to pay him.
That's a business thing and not necessarily yours. He's taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment liability.
His own corporation is sitting there on video saying they're going to take it.
After this woman got kicked out of her own store, she called Brian explaining how corporate just came down and is now trying to take the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection without paying for it. So Brian called the store to see what was going on.
Called the store and I said, what happened to Crystal? And he goes, well, that's kind of a private matter, but the corporation's taken over the store.
So it wasn't the lady. It wasn't her fault. It was who came in after because she sold the store because of her husband having to do it. So yeah, and now the new owners are just like, yeah, fuck the consignment, it's ours.
There's something I can do to help you with. I said, well, yeah. I am the owner of about half your store's inventory. All those vintage Star Wars sets you have in there are ours. And he goes, I don't know anything about that. I said, well, you better get to learn about it because I have a contract, I have photo evidence, video evidence, like that is our collection. So I went down to the store, brought a copy of the contract. We're like, you need to let me in back and let me see the sets that you still have. All you have to do is let me in back. We can go that route or we can go to court. And the guy just looks at me, crosses his arms and goes, let me tell you what's gonna happen. If we go to court, we're gonna drag this thing out so long and you're gonna end up spending so much more money than your collection is ever worth or what you ever would have gotten on it, that it ain't worth it, man. So if that's the route you wanna go, and I go, that's really the route you wanna go, rather than just letting me walk in there, and he goes, well,
Dang.
what am I to do?
And that's just the beginning. So a dying father sick father, I'm not saying he's dying, or hopefully he's good, may he recover fast and get well soon. He's very sick. His son is trying to now handle his business as it goes to his collection. He said earlier in his video, like, I can't even tell this situation to my dad because I don't want him to, like, this whole thing's going on. The person who owns all this stuff has no idea because he doesn't want to stress him out with what's going on with this because he's sick. And the son has to now fight this. And he's been trying to, and he told him to his face, we're going to put it in court. And you're going to, like, you're not going to be able to we're gonna drag it out. So like you're gonna end up spending way more money in court and pretty much deboning his shit. And this was um, clearly um, an organized take of the store without paying because even the old owner was like, "Hey, this is his stuff. I need to make sure he gets paid." And they flat out said, this is our shit. And we got video footage of it. This is a business. This is our stuff. And there's nothing that she could do because they were kicking her out of the store. They were saying that we can call the cops. We'll kick if you don't leave. They didn't let her pack up the inventory, nothing. So they bring it to RecklessBen. And that's how this begins. You got any questions? Because I got
Well, yeah, I think my biggest thing is, first of all, the evaluation of the Star Wars Legos, for one, is a were they like appraised, like what, like how, like you know what I mean? Like once that gets kind of configured and that number gets configured, I'm trying to figure out what was not just the payout situation. Like, what was what was it like a pawn shop situation? Essentially, like, you know how you go to a pawn shop, you know what I mean? Like, you go, you turn something, everybody's been in the pawn shop, got this piece of gold, I need some cash real quick. You go. But that, honestly, realistically, it's yours for a certain amount of time, though. Right? I know I said this on both sides, but it's only
like
yours.
that. The consignment is a
Okay.
contract. The contract says you
Right.
retain ownership, no matter what. So essentially, Bricks and Minifigs does this. This is what they do. This is why they've grown so much because it became the store for collectibles and collectors. It's not just Star Wars. It's like other stuff and Pokemon and all that stuff. So yeah, but this particular store had only his shit because it was so much valuable Star Wars collection. It's so much valuable Star Wars Lego sets that he had that the store, like the whole store was full of Lego sets, like full of his Lego sets, and that helps the store with inventory. That's how the store makes money. They sell other people's stuff and take a percentage. And honestly, it's a normal thing. Like people do this.
It is because, well, I'm just thinking, like, I've all, I'm very, unfortunately, I learned my stuff through rap and through street stuff, right? So consignment, first time I heard, or first time I learned about it, or whatever came, I had to do my, I had to do my research what that was and the definition. But first time I heard of consignment is on some illegal stuff. I'm giving something to you on consignment, right? Realistically, both of our names are attached to this product. You see what I'm saying? Like, and realistically, I am giving you something on consignment, but I am still responsible for this whenever I have to report somewhere else. And if you are short on what is supposed to be reported back that I have to give, we are all on the hook. So as far as the illegal stuff that I'm talking about and the legal stuff that I'm talking about, what really, once, and again, to the point of the consignment contractual paperwork, once I kind of walk into your shop and say, hey, I need you to hold on to this for me real quick, you know what I mean? I know how valuable this is. Did he receive anything as far as monetary value once he gave that into the ownership of the store?
No, he
No.
received a contract. The contract says, hey, man, we're selling your stuff. We will take note of it, have a ledger of when we sell your specific sets. So whenever someone comes in, oh man, I'm paying $200 for the Lego set. All right, the store takes their $20. I'm taking the 180 because it's my stuff, right? So they'll take their $20 every single time that gets sold. Now they got their own inventory too, but for those sets that I brought into you, because people know where to go for this particular collectibles, that like the most like rarest type of stuff that that might not be in stores anymore. People are coming to this bricks and many because they know that you guys hold some of the rarest things, some that
So,
people might want to get off their hands.
what was the stores? So to what I interpreted from what you told me and from what I'm understanding, the store once it got sold, the new owner said, "Fuck all the old contracts. They ain't mine."
Yeah, and not just the owner, the CEO is aware of it and is on the phone telling them, yeah, get her out of the store. Like we own it. She has to leave now. She's leave. We gotta buy her. He's supposed to come there just to see the store, but as soon as he got there, she's like, wait a minute, I gotta get kicked out. Like what? Like yeah. We're getting
Nigga, that nigga walked in there and paid so much money cash for that store. Yes, bitch. Get your phone charger, grab your purse, whatever else, we'll send it to you in a bag. Out the store today. Leave the keys, change the code, all that happening today. You got to think about that though. Now, realistically, now to your point. See, now this is what I'm trying to. I'm the dickhead of the podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm the business guy of it. Once that CEO makes that decision and know he has a seller to that building and gonna buy everything under that inventory, and he knows he's bypassing the contractual obligations of what has been made by his store owner, which was already kind of in talks with it. Everybody is up for grabs when I go to the law to sue. But just like last story, and just like this story, it don't matter if you go to the law. Them niggas can be bought too, from what I understand.
Yeah, and that's where we're gonna be going with this because this was all there's no there's no way around it. All the evidence is here. This is his Legos. Here's the video. Here's the ledger. I mean, here is the contract. All of it's there, and they're like, "Fuck you." The corporation and the owner of that particular particular store. Now, all this stuff starts getting a lot of news, right? And it got so bad that the owner had to close the store down because he couldn't deal with all the bad press. But that doesn't help this man get his money back for his shit because he just goes back to the CEO. So RecklessBen, shout out to him, reaches out to the CEO, is trying to work this thing out, and with the owner of the store. So that's when they close the store down because it starts becoming a big story. The CEO is like not trying to have it, and then to get this story, so they try to sue the store, right? They try to sue that store, and they close the store down because of the lawsuit. So after that, he's like, all right, the store closed down. Well, I'm suing the owner of the store, the guy who bought the store. And that's where we get to our second video because that's when we start to realize that, oh, shit, this goes deeper than we thought. And I'm not going to play that whole thing because that was a whole documentary. Y'all want more? Go to RecklessBen's website. I mean, to a YouTube page. It's like an hour, 30-minute long documentary on what he did to get to the point where they took down the store, and how and all the contact he had with the owner and the CEO. So he's been kind of both of the guys, the guy who owns the entire corporation and the guy who owns that specific store. But when they close the store down as a strategic move to end this whole debacle, he's like, all right, fuck it, we're gonna have to sue the guy who owned the store, we don't even know where the inventory is now. Now that they close the store down, they don't even know where the inventory is. So
we know what the inventory is, nigga. Everybody, nigga, we know. Listen, the plot was off. Listen.
The play was in, yeah.
If you think that shit was only worth 200,000, And them owners was like, yeah, my husband works out of town. We gotta get out of. Nigga, they ran that motherfucking eBay costs. They ran that dark web cost. 200,000, either close to a half a ticket, maybe a whole ticket. Star Wars franchise. You just our man just passed away, right? No, not the wife of Star Wars, from what I understand. Let me verify that. She was the one who she was the
Actress or the
right.
wife of the owner?
No, the wife of the owner.
Oh, George Lucas. You
Uh,
mean the director?
yes, the
Okay.
wife of. So what I'm saying is like, you know, what I'm trying to get to is, with that being said, is that like, she not she, when she passed, or the stock or the equity of something like that could have skyrocketed or went up, or wherever the case may be. You know what I mean? I'm looking this up right now in real time because I
All
thought
right.
I saw this.
But yeah, basically, yeah, it could have been worth more money, like you're saying. I don't know, but $200,000 was what they valued it at, and that's what they're saying it was worth. And honestly, that's enough to say, hey man, I need my shit. Like, so, and it's
Yes,
enough, and it's enough for them to
Maria
know.
Lucas. Maria Lucas. Maria
Okay,
Lucas, she passed at 80 years old. It was reported on. So you said this story was a couple weeks old, or 2 months
two
old, something
weeks,
like that.
2 weeks.
2 weeks old.
It's been
She
going for it's been
passed
going
May.
for 2 weeks.
She passed on May 29th.
Rest in peace.
So
Rest in
like,
peace.
my conspiracy, you gotta give me my little ticker when I build my tinfoil hat, but my little antennas going up. She passed that little motherfucking. Somebody got that. It's like Pokemon. Listen, I did not know Pokemon cards was like that right now. Back in style. I worked at Family. Yo, y'all, fuck it. I worked at Family Dollar, nigga. Shit, I ain't got nothing to hide, nigga. I'm in my house. This ain't my mama basement. This my crib. My name on the deed. I worked at Family Dollar. Right? Working at Family Dollar, right? Pokemon cards used to come in locked up. What the fuck we locking Pokemon cards up for? Like, nigga got like niggas creating signs, only buy 2 packs per customer. I'm like, what the fuck is going
That's
on,
real.
nigga? Pokemon cards is back where niggas is getting chicken off of Pokemon cards. So to the point of this Legos conversation, you got real deal Holyfield Lego. Miles Turner, center for, he used to play for the Indiana Pacers, now plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. He has a legendary Lego collection. I mean, a legendary Lego collection.
Okay.
And he a ball player. So
Yeah.
you like
things
that
go, man.
$200,000 evaluation might legitimately change somebody's life, and somebody be like, yo, I
100%.
need that. I got 2 million right now.
And it was a lot. It was like a lot of sets, bro. Like it like was the whole fucking store, bro. And they put stuff back in the back. So yeah, it was outrageous what they gave to the store. But so basically the store shut down. He then has to sue the owner of the store. And he got the court documents, and you got to get served. And this is what then played out.
Into the American Fork Police Department and released all the footage unredacted of my interactions with them. So this is the original footage I got with the redactions in, and this is the new unredacted footage. I'm lining them up, and I'm going to keep only the redacted parts to see what they were actually saying.
Jail. I understand. This ends today. I know. We're talking to them. Okay.
Sadly, they weren't able to get the first 2 days where I was accused of having heroin on me, but the final 2 days we were able to see a lot, actually. The footage.
Okay, let me pause it. So he goes to the guy's house, right? He goes to the guy's house to serve him. He got somebody to serve him for him. The guy calls the cop, but when he gets to the guy, because he's been talking to the guy's been threatening him, like, all this has been a conversation. So the guy had a freaking police at his crib because he said he's gonna serve him with papers, right? He's like, well, I'm not leaving my house. The owner said he's not leaving his house, so he's never gonna get to serve him. So they pull up to the guy's crib. They found the guy's crib, and he got somebody to serve him. But before he can go to the guy's house, there's police everywhere, right? And they come knock on his door, like, "Hey, who are you?" Yeah. All right, they've been called saying that he's stalking the guy. So that's what the guys told the cops, saying he's been stalked by this guy. And he's like, but he's trying to serve you these papers, and now they're dealing with the reaction of having to talk to the owner of the shutdown of the store, was Bricks and Minifigs, and the guy just doesn't want to be served. So that happened, and then all hell breaks loose as far as what happens to this guy, RecklessBen, for trying to help out the guy's son.
Starts with me going to Josh's house so I can serve him his legal court papers. Josh knows that if he goes to court with me, he's going to lose. So instead, a much easier option is he calls the police on me to prevent me from serving him.
His name is Ben Schneider. He's stalking my house. Will you come to my house, please, and come get them? I'm not going to have stalkers.
Are they there right now?
They're on the side of the house.
One of the dispatchers made a note here saying that you were going to shoot someone.
I'm done with this. Officer, can you please help me and my family and make this stop?
Yeah, absolutely.
She had a consignment deal with a guy named Brian Mansell. A year and a half, almost 2 years, she had this consignment deal with him and she never paid him.
So right away, Josh is lying to the police, which we can easily verify with all of the metadata timestamped pictures that show that the Lego sets were in the store when Josh took it over.
He's hired this YouTuber. His name is Ben Schneider. He's RecklessBen. They sent people in saying they're going to murder our manager. I'm done.
What are you guys doing here?
So we are in a court case with them and we have to serve them legal papers.
She is a process server and she's trying to serve you papers.
She's not a process server.
She's not a process.
Get the papers. They're fake papers. They're fake. Go get the papers.
You okay if I bring those over to you?
Absolutely. Okay. They're fake.
You got the see those papers? Yeah. So this is what you're trying to serve them with?
Yes. I wish we could just send them an email. I wish we could just send them a phone call. Or the court could send it to them, but this is what we're required to do from the United States court. So we're just following the instructions of the government. He thinks if I just call the cops on me, he can get away with it, but we're showing him like we're not going to let him get away with his crime. So.
Okay. You okay if I give these papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Hang tight. Are you okay if she just gives you the papers so we can just get
Have
her?
you looked at the papers? I've talked to the Kaiser Police Department. There's nothing filed. So no, I'm not accepting service from him.
Okay.
Absolutely not. It's fake.
Okay.
It's not real.
That's completely fine. You have that right?
Yeah.
Literally, all this police officer has to do is be like, "You are served," and then he doesn't even have to accept them. He can literally just drop them. But as long as you say you are served, that counts as illegal serving. So why doesn't this cop just do that? Like this whole thing could be solved in literally 3 seconds. Like here, I'll time it. You've been served. Yeah, like literally 1.5 seconds.
So that's all the cop has to do is serve him, right? But the more and more things start to evolve, you start to see how the conversation the cops are having with this gentleman, I'm forgetting his name, but the former owner of the, Bricks and Minifigs, is getting a little bit turned around, and the favoritism is starting to be shown.
Papers.
They sent a lady in, and the lady's like, "Oh, I'm going to murder you," to Amanda, the manager.
And now Josh has just committed a felony. Lying to the police officers about a false threat I made to get me arrested is super duper illegal.
He called the store 1 billion times, threatened the employees.
He does not want the paper. So
He's not want the papers?
Here's that back for you.
Okay.
I'm not sure what this is. I've never seen something like that.
So he told them that it was fake, and the guy's acting like it's fake. The cop is now acting as if the legal document that he handed over is fake after the guy just told him it was fake. He just took his word completely. Didn't serve him the paper. A cop. And they're saying, and then it goes from it being fake to him saying that the lady he's supposed to serve him is not a real server of paper.
I kind of want to know what you want done on this. As much as we humanly possibly can.
He's going to submit, have it screened for charges with our prosecutors, right, with our city prosecutors.
is very adamant that he wants to serve you with papers. Okay.
That's fake. That's illegal. You can't pretend to be a process server.
So
now he's saying that the woman that he brought with him is a fake process server, and the cops are just eating that shit up.
You can't. It's illegal.
Why not? In the state of Utah, to be a process server, all you have to do is be over the age of 18 years old. You got to be not affiliated with the case, and you can't be an attorney. And this girl meets all three. She is over 18 years old. I literally met her like 10 minutes before we showed up here, and she's not an attorney. So legally, in the state of Utah, this woman is a process server. And I already explained this to the police.
So anyone can be a process server. You have to be 18 years old, and you have to be not affiliated with the case. So she is not affiliated with the case. She's over 18 years old. That qualifies as a process server.
Okay. Well, maybe just have someone not affiliated with you.
That's her. Yeah, she's. we have no relationship. That's why she's here. Yeah, that's why she's here. We have no relationship, and that is who she is. The exact person that you're describing.
That's fake. It is a lie. She's impersonating a process server.
So for this girl to be impersonating a process server in the state of Utah, she must either be under 18, which the cops took her ID.
And we'll go about it that way, okay?
Thank you for holding. How can I
So
help you?
the cops go and check to see if the paperwork is legit, because they're confused, right? So this is what happens.
A straight face. Oh, he owes me $200,000.
I'll check with the court, see if it's a valid civil case that he's trying to push through, and we'll go about it that way, okay?
Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Trying to speak with someone to verify if a case is, just verify if a case is real.
Yeah, looks like a real small claims case in our court.
Okay, thank you for your help. That's all right. Thank you.
So
After this phone call, I guess
the cop gets confirmation that it is a real small claims court serving of a document for this guy to appear in court, and still doesn't hand it over. Instead, they turn the mic off for the body cam.
Police officers turned off the microphone on their body cam because I guess they really didn't want literally anyone to hear this. Even if someone gets a hold of the unredacted stuff, not even we now can get it to hear what these police officers are saying. But anyways, the police officer ends up going back to talk to Josh.
They're screening some charges, okay? But we're just kind of working through. It looks like this is a real case. It just hasn't gone to court, okay?
It's a real case. Who's it against?
Against you, him versus you.
Ben Snyder?
Mm-hmm.
What an idiot.
So,
he's just racking up the charges, and we're working together.
So basically the consensus is we were all wrong here. However, let's just arrest Ben anyways.
Like, letting them go cannot be an option here, guys. Like, there's got to be something.
So they know now. They know that this is a legal document. He's supposed to appear in court. And they're like, yeah, how can we flip this thing? How can we, now we just know where he can go. He's stalking. He's cyberbullying, whatever. You got to lock this guy up. Now the CEO's on the phone. Not just the owner, the CEO's on the phone.
For me. Okay. Find you back. Am I being arrested? Under arrest right now. Really?
And he goes to jail. It's sad because they just stole this guy's stuff, man. And you have a man out here who's trying to investigate this whole thing free of charge. He got his YouTube channel. Obviously, he doesn't need the money. He has over $1 million. But it has now gone to the point where he's gotten out of jail because they didn't have any charges on him. They searched his car previously before this. There was no drugs because they said he had drugs. But yeah, even white men in America who are morally in the right, when you go up against certain power and people with relationships, it can completely ruin your life. And RecklessBen lives in California. So basically, He goes back home, and now there's another warrant for his arrest because they're trying to get him on some other shit in Utah. So now the Utah Police Department is now working with the Los Angeles Police Department, which has now forced this man to flee America. And now he's in Mexico. And he's kept on releasing, the status of this case on his YouTube channel. But as of yesterday, Bad News Ben comes out and he says he can no longer speak because he got some documents saying that he cannot talk about this on his channel, or else because he also started a GoFundMe for this guy's, money for this Lego set while he wanted to pursue the lawsuit. But unfortunately, he can't talk about it, or else he's gonna lose the GoFundMe and the case gets dismissed. So it's really fucked up because we already have evidence.
Finished after crazy
So
all
he has
nighters.
episode 3 coming out, but he can't put it out because of where the law, because of the law, because he got sent something in the mail saying that he can no longer, because they're saying it's defamation.
We're allowed to talk about. They sent court papers to my email, which I guess a judge approved for them that this was a valid form of service. And so now that I'm officially served, I cannot even mention this company or I will be in jail and everything. Normally I would be like, screw the big guy telling me what to do. I'm going to do what's morally right. But in this situation, if I do that, then all my friends get screwed with this lawsuit and we lose all the GoFundMe money we raised, like immediately. So I am no longer allowed to even mention this mystery company. My personal opinion is that this is unfair because this order was put on me because this company was telling the court that I was making bomb threats. I was planning on murdering the manager and employees, which obviously I didn't do, and you can see that in the footage. The only problem is I was not given a chance to share my side. The court just heard their perspective, not mine. So because I wasn't able to share my side, I am now no longer allowed to talk about them, and it looks like this might be it. So, yeah.
And that's where we are now. There's more that goes into this because it's in Utah. There's a heavy Mormon community. Turns out that the owner was Mormon. Turns out the police department, they're all Mormon, and that's why when the police officer goes to him, he's taking. It feels like allegedly that he's taking his side and trying to find a way to incriminate the gentleman who wants to just serve his papers. So a sick guy who has his son, who doesn't even know his $200,000 Lego collection is at risk, is suffering, and hopefully he recovers, but he doesn't even know that this is going on, that it's been stolen essentially by a corporation. The son is still seeking help, trying to get this resolved. The corporation shut down that store just to avoid this whole situation and keep the inventory. And they know what's going on, and they know the footage, and also the cops know the footage. We've seen it blow up in social media. We've seen it blow up on the news, and nothing is being done to rectify this. And I think that's why it's getting so much viral attention, is because it's a blatant expression of when you have money and you are a corporation and have relationships, that it doesn't matter. You can steal, you can rob, you can do whatever you want. And it's just a display of injustice that people are seeing as completely unfair. Thoughts?
Yeah, I can't really argue the fact that it's unfair. I won't. You tell me all the time I undermine your points and what you say and everything like that. So
No, go ahead. You can tell your opinion, your honest opinion. Yeah.
I mean, they white. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that the national attention or the empathy or the sympathy or the story itself,
But do you
as
think
a
that
label.
every conversation about
I-
black people
I'm
gets
just
just
saying. I'm speaking of the injustice that they're speaking of right now of turning police cameras off and police working with one another, and their work. They're hiding evidence. It's off Lego pieces when we literally got you know, the verdict about the murder. What I mean. I'm hearing a lot of privilege in the ability to even the guys like I can't talk about it because I'm gonna lose the fun. You had the lip you
I'll speak the truth.
he
You had
used
the
he
luxury
used
of
his
what?
good he used his ability to do good realistically. The story, I'm not sure how, again, to the point of knowing that he will be someone to garnish traction enough to resonate a national swell, to bring attention to this story. That just goes back to, again, the point of I'm damn near 40, bro. I don't know nothing about no streamers, no Twitchers, no YouTubers, no content creators, no Mr. Beast, no DDG, no motherfucking Bendan, no Kasha. I come on this content creation thing to speak about shit that is in and again, that's why we talk to one another to educate one another on the ignorance of where we're at. So by this being something that got garnered enough national attention that it got to you, that
Well,
is
my
coming
nephew
to
told me
me.
about it,
Oh, so
and
well, shout out
shout
to
out to
what
AJ.
shout
Yeah,
oh
you know,
AJ, what's happening, cuz?
yeah, so he told me about it, and I've seen it pop up on my feed after that, and I thought the story was interesting because it's blatant favoritism. It's blatant
Yes,
corruption, and I'm gonna
absolutely.
stand on what I believe at least. I don't give a fuck if they're white. I don't give a fuck. Just like there's injustice against black people, and we'll come here and talk about it. If there's injustice against white people, we'll come out here and talk about it. I don't got it. I mean, granted, we all know what this country does for black people. We've talked about it. Yes, it's worse for us, and we don't got to compare that. But it's blatant in their face with this situation, and you might not care because hey, man, at the end of the day, it's Lego pieces, it's money, no life is at stake, and you're right, But I'm isolating the situation.
It's like the Sorsby thing, right? They're like, hey, let him play. He's not Adrian Peterson. He didn't beat his child. He's not Ray Rice. He didn't beat his wife. It's not Ben Roethlisberger. He got rape charges, right? It's just gambling. You know what I'm saying? And we make these concessions, and again, it's who you know. And no disrespect to how he knew RecklessBen. And again, RecklessBen, you're not in no fault for being white. You're not in no fault of having white privilege. This is not even me speaking on that. It is the fact of the blatant. Shout out to
RecklessBen has been doing this
Crybaby.
for a long
Hold
time.
on, hold on. Yeah, but shout Crybaby, the album of Vince Staple, is an album of listening as we speak of, again, the injustices of the people, right? And what gets taken from us. And what gets taken from us in the frame of what we're speaking about of of corruption, right? Blatant corruption, right? Again, we spoke. I don't even know if it was actually on camera when we talked about Breonna Taylor, but if we did, we're gonna do it again.
We did.
Her birthday, her birthday had just recently passed June 5th. She was gonna be 33. Blatant injustice, right? And and it's not that I don't care. It's not that I'm like, oh, blasé. I'm also watching the game as well. You know what I mean? The Knicks came back down from 30. They're only down one right now with the ball with 7 seconds to
That
go.
happened in the third quarter. I have a feeling I saw it.
They took the lead actually, and Stephon Castle just knocked out 2 free throws. What I just rubbed my head like that for Wemby got a block. It went off the backboard. It went all the way into the backcourt. De'Aaron Fox got the ball from the Spurs. Instead of being a veteran point guard, because he's a veteran point guard, and dribbling it back out and making the Knicks foul him, he went up for a layup, missed the layup. Now the Knicks have an opportunity to win the game at the Garden, which they just hit the shot. It's 107-106. The Knicks, oh my God, they might have stolen the game. They're going to win the championship at the Garden in Game 6. You know what? Whatever I was talking about with Utah and them Legos, respect to you. The Knicks are going to win the championship in Game 6 because the Spurs not going to lose Game 5. They're not going to lose Game 5. They're not going to lose Game 5. But the Knicks having a Larry O'Brien trophy.
I wasn't done with the conversation.
In the Madison Square Garden. It's going to be motherfucker.
I'm happy for the Knicks. Congratulations. But I think we're having an interesting conversation here with this situation because the first thing you said.
Are we?
Yes, I do. Because the first thing you said was they're white. You know, and I get where you're coming from and your perspective on things. Like, you know, like you're coming from your own algorithm and your experiences, and maybe you don't give a fuck. But when we talk about this country needs good white men and women to stand up for what's right, what this guy has done on his channel is done that for multiple corporations and exposing corruption. And I think that should be commended, you know? And I think that's something that
yes, commend it. But what has he done before? What to give? Since you educate me right now.
Listen,
what has
I don't
he done
know everything. He's done it for a long time.
I'm not saying not everything. I'm just telling me what
Jesus
you can
Christ.
just look at right now.
First.
I know. You're making your point. I'm asking you to explain it to me. I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I didn't know. You brought it to me. You're educating me. I'm asking you. This RecklessBen guy, since you say he's done things outside of the Legos thing, I know.
Listen. Can you?
I'm asking.
I'm just trying. I'm talking, and you cut me off. I'm getting mad. What's the issue?
I'm not getting mad. I'm asking you to tell me, and you telling me no. Don't have your own.
Listen, man. Can you let me land my point first? You cut me off and said, "Yo, what else you do? What else you do?" I don't need that, bro. Right now, that's not the point I'm trying to make. I don't know everything he's done, bro. There's actually have to do something else. I'm saying that there's good people in the world, regardless of your skin color, regardless of whatever you are. I do think that you should be commended for fighting against the system. Obviously, the system is corrupted. Obviously, we talk about corruption here every fucking week on this podcast, and we know what we go through as black men and women, and we know what it is. But when we say that we have to, as a United States, come together and recognize this together as a people of what a corporation can get away with, of what the police can get away with. These are the things that awakens people that are not just looking like us, and hopefully we can come together on that same fact. And you don't have to.
I'm not arguing that, Chidi. I'm talking about Legos. Is where I know you don't care about the launching point. I'm speaking of me. So
you already made your point. I was trying to end on something way more positive than who cares about Legos, brother. I'm sorry.
Well, you asked me, nigga. You could have just went to the next topic.
I have more to say on the topic.
No. You said comments. Yes, you did. You said go play it back. You said comments, and that was my comment.
No, you gave your comment after that. You said the Knicks, and I said, wait, I got more to say on this topic. That's what happened. Nothing. And then you start talking about what else he did. Like, come on.
I'm asking you a question about fighting corporations. I just asked you to tell me what he did fighting corporations. That's what I was asking you. Outside of this,
another corporation that was abusing certain
people.
That's
all I asked you.
But I want you to go watch his content, bro. Like, I'm not going to tell you everything he's done because I don't know everything he's done. So I can't give you an answer for that.
I'm not, bro. I didn't. Okay, we can
just go look at his channel, bro. I respect what he's doing. He's intentionally made his life journey to investigate. We talk about investigative journalism on this podcast. And just because, dude, if a guy's sick and he's losing $200,000 and his son has to fight for a Lego set, and we have evidence of all that stuff, maybe, just maybe, when we talk about police corruption, this can open up people's minds who are not just like, don't just look like us. That's the broader point here. And I get it. You don't give a fuck, fine. We shouldn't have fucking talked about it then.
I'm not saying we don't give a fuck, but open up police corruption. I'm fighting. I'm pushing back. I'm talking for me. I'm talking.
I know you're talking about. You don't got to keep saying that.
But I'm saying though, like we're opening our eyes to police corruption, and my thing is we're opening our eyes to police corruption to things that people may not have. And I'm saying all of what we have, and I'm saying yes, Legos is what he picked up the pieces on. No pun intended.
Listen,
And I'm saying
listen.
that is commendable.
A guy brought it to him, and he's not the only person that investigates and exposes corruption. But I do think that all this stuff matters, and it does matter for people to understand that it happens to people that are just not even. You don't even gotta be black. You don't you don't gotta be shot in the back. It's all happening right now. And at the end of the day,
true.
if that's all you
That's
can think
true.
about when a company's stealing from people, then we're never gonna get anywhere. Because who cares? It's Legos. Who cares? They can say the same thing. Who cares? A kid got shot. Yeah. So that's my point. That we shouldn't be in that state of mind with any of this shit.
I know we had the conversation about being we had the conversation, and it's going to be continuous when you're speaking to Christopher McLean as the person. Fuck Drake Royal Ayatollah, fuck all the monikers. When we're talking about
I know I'm talking to you. Like
I know, but what I'm saying is I am apathetic no matter what it is, no matter if we're doing a podcast for content. I'm going to be apathetic whether it's for the show or if it's me personally. So I'm not doing this for the show.
And I understand that you're saying the same thing over and over again. My point is, you said your apathetic part, then you start talking about the Knicks, and I said, let me just finish this because I do have a little bit more to say on this. And then all you have to do is let me land and then move the fuck on. Then we can go to the next topic and talk about Obafemi. But once you go back to, well, so what?
Questions.
I don't need all that.
I had legitimate questions and asked you outside of what you said, look at his content. Bro, I'm not fucking doing that. I asked you to just tell me.
Then why do you ask the question? Why do you ask the question? If you're not gonna, you can literally just click on his YouTube channel, go and see all the stories he's done and where he's infiltrated and what he's what his content is. If you're that curious, if I say, listen,
asked you because
it's
you
not relevant to the company.
So if you were interested, I'm asking you outside of the Lego
the larger
story,
point is I was trying to make. Granted, I don't know every piece of content he's put out. He's worked on a haunted house that he's exposed where they've abused their employees. That's what I know. Go look at his content if you want to see more. I don't know what point you're trying to make with that. I don't know.
I'm not making Chidi. I'm not, bro. You think I'm making a point?
No, I don't think anything. I don't know what the point is.
Legit, hold on, bro. You looked at the content. I didn't. I
just told you the answer, though.
I know you said you in argument right now. In argument, I wasn't trying to argue and raise my voice about. That's what I'm trying to say. When you was like, oh, I just literally asked you a question. As you said, I got more to tell you. I asked you a question, said, what else has he done? I'm not trying to argue and do a whataboutism or anything. I was asking you, and you said, I don't know everything. I didn't say everything. I said, just tell me something else other than the Legos. You just brought the Hunter house to me.
Yeah, go look at his content, bro, if you care. But my point was this. People who fight corruption, I appreciate it. Listen, if you want to be apathetic, go. That's your choice. If you care enough to find out more about his content, go check it out, bro. Like, it's not that hard. If you don't care, then all I can tell you is that I need to go do more research as well. That's my answer. But my broader point was this situation. Obviously, this happens to more than just people based on color. Your major point was like, he's white. So what? Oh, it's Legos. So what? So my point
also
to you,
made it of all being black in wrestling when we did the monologue. I know I make it racial. That is my thing. I make it racial. And when I made it racial, it was to make a point to say that yes, they have corruption. They have the ability to point out corruption. I just simply asked did the Ben guy, the reckless Ben guy, like you say, just watch his content. You don't watch Pablo Torre. I don't tell you to just watch Pablo Torre.
I present questions to say, hey, what did Pablo Torre do? Because if I ask questions on Pablo Torre, I would go watch it. I would go check it out. I'm not asking you, hey, what else did he do? No, I'm not.
Respect, bro. Respect. Because that's a fucking lie. When you asked me about the Donald Trump, I found the joint and I put it in the joint for you to watch it. You didn't fucking watch it, bro.
Dude, that was
you asking me about his content. I told you to find the content and you didn't watch it.
I asked you because it was relevant to the topic of conversation. I'm not asking for some random video. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to argue with you, bro.
It's relevant to the content about RecklessBen, Chidi. It's relevant to the content about RecklessBen.
Yeah,
I asked you about content.
That's his whole content. If you don't know, go look at it. He does anti-corruption content, and he does investigations, and he gets information from employees and different places, and he gets information that proves people being treated unjustly. And then he's fighting for somebody who could reach out to him about the Lego situation. So that's a broad scale of what it is. If I'm asking about a specific thing you know about Donald Trump, it's because you watched it. I'm not asking for, oh yeah, what else? Like, that's not what I did. So my point is this. Shout out to RecklessBen for what he's doing. And I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, whatever. I'm going to come on here and give you props for what you're doing because you honestly have a good heart for trying to help somebody out and putting yourself in danger to do that. Now you're having to be on the run for this, unfortunately, for trying to help somebody out. And I think that people need to have good hearts like that. We need more people like that in America, especially right now in this current climate. So regardless of what your race is, I got to give you a cut. And to minifigs, bricks and minifigs, I hope y'all get what you want. I hope y'all get what y'all deserve because y'all shouldn't be able to use the law to get away with complete theft of $200,000 worth of merchandise. And we'll see where it goes. Maybe I won't bring it to the pod anymore because clearly, you see what happened. But we'll see what happens. I'll try to see if I can tune in and maybe do something else.
You love playing that fucking card, bro, and I'm not finna do that with you, nigga. I wasn't into you. It was interesting to you. I'm asking you to make it interesting to me, and I asked a question. If you can't do that, then yes, don't bring it to the fucking pod. I asked the question, bro.
Got you.
I asked the question. I asked the question.
I heard you. Yeah.
I didn't diminish what he was doing by saying he was white. I put into context that he put his life in danger over some fucking Legos. That's what I say. He used his white privilege to put his life and be on the run for Legos. That's my perspective on the topic.
Got you. Yeah. Next topic.
You got it. Show, boss man.
You just told me not to bring stuff to the pod, so you got it. What do you want to talk about? What's interesting to you?
Next one.
All right, go for it.
That's it. Next one. Came back down from wherever they was down, take a 3-1 lead in the finals. Potentially to win their first championship since 1973. Very electric game in the Garden. Very electric game in the Garden.
Shout out to the Knicks.
Anything else? You want to roll into the last topic or you want to wrap the show?
No, go ahead. Go introduce the topic. If you're still interested in doing it, yeah.
I mean, my opinion is, is either stupid or, they not needed at the time or, they're inconcise or I'm all around the world with it. Every time I open my fucking mouth, Chidi got a problem with it. Christopher heard with his mouth. Somebody put a muzzle on it right now. Nigga, every time I fucking say something, it's a problem or something going on, nigga.
No,
So
it's when you interrupt me to say that to make my point. After you've made your point, when you interrupt me when I'm trying to land a point, that's when I have an issue. That's why I had the issue, not because you said your point. Your point is valid. I had no problem with it. But then
no, my point was not valid. When I said white, it wasn't valid because that's what you argued about after I made the comment.
Dude, you made your point and it came from you. That's what it was. You had your point, and I went and I said, listen, I have my piece at the end to give this guy props, even though he's white. That's all I said, bro. Like, so I don't want to. That's all. And you're like, oh, you really got to talk about something? Like, come on. I'm not trying to say that your point's invalid. I just said I want to end it off because I want to say something else about that before we get to the Knicks or whatever the fuck you want to talk about next. So, yeah, we can talk about we can talk about Roman. Like, that's all I'm trying to do.
Go ahead, man. You trying to land? You trying to direct the show? You trying to produce the show? Like, go ahead, Gus. Like, let me know how we go, how we want to talk about it. Because clearly, my debate commentary or how I feel about something genuinely does not offer real fucking
Jesus
contribution to the
Christ. Oh my God. I
show.
didn't say any of that. So you're putting words in my mouth
But,
nonstop now because you feel some type of way. Stop it, please.
nigga, I know we not talking about a nigga feeling some type of way. Are we?
Dude, can you stop putting some words in my mouth and just go on with the topic if you want to talk? If you don't, then we can end the pod, bro. Clearly.
I mean, I just asked you, are we talking over and Roman? Because
Yeah.
okay. So you booked it in the group chat that's what you wanted to see. Again, this is a Chidi-led topic. Who brought it up? I want you to tell me your thought process of where you see it, how you see it, and why you feel that we need to have Ober and Roman.
So I didn't bring it up in the group chat. Rich brought it up today, and he really wanted to get our opinion on it. So a reason why I sold both of us.
No,
to give our
you brought it
opinion
up
on it.
June 2nd. You brought it up June 2nd in
No,
our group chat.
I did, and then
So
he
that's
what
why
he
I
brought
said,
to
why
our
would you
attention.
want to do it? That's
What
why
he
I said,
brought
why
to our
would you brought it
attention.
up?
What he brought to our attention was that Bully Ray then came out, and he said that he would have it so that Oba won the King of the Ring, and then goes on to SummerSlam on night one to face Brock Lesnar, and then night two face Roman Reigns. A week ago, I said something similar. I was like, yo, he should come, he should win the King of the Ring and face both Brock and Roman. Only difference is Bully Ray has about losing to Brock night one and then winning to Roman night two. But I'm also skeptical if WWE wants to do that. Why do I want to see that? Because as we said in the intro, there is a moment right here for us to crown the new generation, like to really cement him amongst his main event players and give him the championship. There's clearly energy around Oba since WrestleMania and before at WrestleMania. So I feel like this doesn't come around often, whether it's a Hogan moment or whether it's Steve Austin. The energy that we've seen behind Oba and Brock, is something you go with, something you push to the moon. So that's what I want to see because we haven't seen that in a minute.
No, I mean, realistically, you can go back to '02, Brock and Rock, you know what I'm saying, with the feel of the quote unquote next big thing. But that moniker was kind of put on Braun a little bit. So now Oba really has like usurped in presence and like, notoriety and crossover appeal, like all of those things matter. When you asked me earlier about what the title could be, everything's a metric, you know what I'm saying? Like, Oba meets those metrics, right? Clearly, you said Brandon Sorsby meets those metrics. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly, when you break down the Mormon connectivity of the Utah story, they meet a metric. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know about that
they're.
one, but maybe you can explain it to me. What do you mean?
What? Well, you was like you brought up the Mormon connection. You was like the cop was a Mormon.
Where's metrics coming to that?
I mean, you fit a demo, you fit within
demographic. You mean?
a similar, like if we're using synonym of metric measures, you kind of fit within that. And now I got it. Now I ain't got me like that.
But what do you think about Oba and Brock?
But
And or the King of Ring as a whole? Because you said LA Knight first time.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like again, that's what I'm trying to say. Like this originated. You had asked the question in the group chat, and I said, I would like to see LA Knight because realistically they have a story. If they, we talk Marvel all the time. We just had a big argument about X-Men. You said, nigga, I don't want nothing that ain't got a fucking story that I can attach myself to, especially if I know the story or if you're just gonna make up some shit. Like it's just gonna throw me off. I felt that way in regards to Oba and LA Knight. If we got a story already built within LA Knight, if we already got Jacob Fatu kind of like, with the reverberations of where he's at within the bloodline. I know he's not going to probably go back after Roman, but like there's crack there's not strength enough within that within that this particular uh um incarnation of the bloodline where Roman can be susceptible to being to losing. I think the story of LA Knight, of everything that he was saying, I would have liked it. And he was like, no, well, Twin first off said Trick or Oba. And then that's when we went into the domino effect. And that's why I make the sly comment of like everything I say you don't fuck with, because literally in that thread in the group chat when I was
I just
throwing
want
out
you to
stuff,
explain what you mean. I don't have any
I,
problem with what you
that's what
feel.
I am explaining what I'm saying. Like if again, no, whoa, don't interrupt me.
Bro,
What I'm
you already
talking.
saying everything I say. It's not
No,
true, bro.
I'm saying in the group. I'm put into context what I'm saying in the group chat when we were discussing the thread of wrestlers, and we were saying you was like, I don't. You were speaking about me. See, you didn't even let me finish the conversation. I didn't like everything that you said in the group chat when we were throwing stuff out. You said Randy. You said Gunther. You said who else you put in the group chat that you wanted to put in there. And I said I didn't. Finn is what we talked about. Like we was just throwing shit on the wall in the group chat. And I was like, no, as wrestling fans, if we talking story, if we talking connectivity, I really think that LA, and we was talking about the legitimacy of someone being hot, cold at the time. You guys felt like LA Knight needed a heel turn to make him be refreshed. Again, you're a fan, but the reaction that he gets makes it seem like he still has that anti-hero baby face around him somewhere. Um, when you brought up the conversation of Oba night 1 and night 2, which is what you said Oba versus Brock and Roman same night. The emoji face, I said, what I say after that? I said, damn, I said, outside of Oba, nothing there is interesting or new for Roman. So I agree with you that I just didn't necessarily think to what we say. We know the context of wrestling. If they pull a trigger, we clearly talked about Braun should have won the title earlier in the year on Netflix. I was super adamant. I was super adamant. I'm like, yeah, pull a trigger. There's no way they cannot see this, right? There's no way they cannot see Braun. That was me. And you came in and motherfucking put the hook in my mouth and said, nah, nigga, nah, that ain't how they do it. And exactly right. CM Punk had Braun Breaker looking at the lights 1, 2, 3 at the Netflix debut. And ever since then, Braun Breaker has been snake bitten by that decision. If you look at it over time, right now, Braun Breaker could have been and would have been the brightest, youngest champion since Randy, if crowned at that time. Like when Randy beat Benoit,
yeah,
Randy was on the stratosphere of being Randy. I think if Braun beat CM Punk at Raw on Netflix,
yeah, he would be. He would be
after he just took out their Seth, and now Seth coming back matters now because when Braun took him out, Braun took his title. Now Braun don't even have to be champion right now, realistically, right? Braun still don't have to be. But what I'm saying is, kingmakers, right? Championship, put them on them, take it off, it don't matter. Jey Uso, for what it is, for what it ain't, became a kingmaker by winning the championship against Gunther at WrestleMania. Now, what you do with that person after he wins the championship, it really is on twofold, the person and the company, because I don't think Kofi did anything not to legitimize himself as a true champion before he got in the ring with Brock, realistically. But we seen after he lost the title, he never sniffed the title again relegated back to tag team wrestling, relegated to tag team wrestling that don't matter, relegated to not being on TV, relegated to having his contract reduced, relegated to not being with the company. So you being a champion and being crowned don't always legitimize you and make you somebody that's stamped. So I don't want to do that with either Braun or Oba. But right now, it's really tough to look at Oba at that roster right now. It's tough to feel excited about anything right now that translates through, that reverberates through from nationalities, from age gaps, from piping crowd noise to real crowd noise. Like Oba seems to really have it all. And for him not to be in the main event picture, I know Brock seems main event ish,
I mean, he's
but we know, but no, but without, but I'm not really with the triple main event headliner thing with Brock being the third match after the 2 title match. That's not a headliner to me.
To me, that's why they go on first WrestleMania, because it's one of the biggest matches and that people are looking forward to it. I think the main event obviously has kind of shifted. You can't be in the middle of the card to be a main event. Like obviously, you're either at the beginning or the end, or night 1 or night 2 end. Like so that's how I look at it. When it comes to where he's at about super fire, I just am worried about it burning out before WrestleMania. Does this energy last? Can you push it to WrestleMania? If you want to crown him there in Saudi Arabia, because right now the bloodline stuff, we haven't seen Oba, go through the bloodline, and maybe they want to do that, like Oba and Jacob. Like, is that something they want to go for? I'm not sure if we even have Roman, to the end of the year, when probably maybe sparingly. But if we do, then he doesn't need to even drop the title technically. So that's also a thought in my head. Do they want to have him like go up the ranks and then hit Roman, or do they want to just put the rocket on him now? And in my mind, in hearts of hearts, I would put the rocket on him now for me. But for WWE, the way they look at things, they are so safe lately. They don't take no risk. I see them holding it on to Roman for the foreseeable future, and that's what worries me. They might just say, "Oh well, you beat Brock," and at SummerSlam, and that's enough for Oba. That might be what they had planned for him. But just imagine Oba going into Billy Ray said it. I was gonna have a video, but fuck, we can just talk about it. Billy Ray said, if the first match of the night was the first main event of SummerSlam, night 1, or one of the main events is Oba versus Brock, but it's retirement versus title shot. So Oba wins the King of the Ring. Brock puts his actual retirement on the line for it. But if he beats Oba, he takes that title shot and he faces Roman night 2. I think that right there is the most intriguing booking going into SummerSlam. But then we have people who want to see Jey Uso and people want to see LA Knight, and I like that as well. But both of those guys, 1, Jey Uso we've seen already, 2, LA Knight we've seen both of those matches already, and 3, they both have lost steam to me. They're not on this fever pitch, and now we're booking SummerSlam like it's WrestleMania because it's 2 nights. You want to make it big to me, and you go with the biggest match. The biggest match in WWE right now is Roman versus Oba. And I think that we should do that from now on. I don't think we should wait all these big matches for WrestleMania. I think we should just book them for SummerSlam and see what you can do between SummerSlam and WrestleMania to book another big match down the line because you got a big roster. You can figure it out. I think they should not plan WrestleMania a year ahead. They should plan it just SummerSlam and then plan 6 months out. That's what they should be doing. That's what go ahead.
I was trying to say, because you skipped the Royal Rumble. So with SummerSlam through WrestleMania, Royal Rumble's in between there. That gap, that's a lot of time for that's a lot of time, bro, for mistakes, for injuries, for cool downs, for
So that's
right
why I
now.
would give the title to Oba. Like now, I would do it now. Just like Brock won it at SummerSlam, Oba should win that at SummerSlam in his first year. It's kind of apropos.
So he has to. In that case, you said originally Bully said he will lose to Brock first and win Roman. I don't think that works at all.
I don't like that either.
That
The
don't.
only reason how that could work is if you plan an Oba versus Brock with the title on WrestleMania. If you're saying long term booking, you know,
You said WrestleMania?
Yeah, I saw it in Saudi. Like Oba defends against Brock. In a stipulation or something. I don't know. That's the only one if you really want it. And I do think
Brock
that
will
Brock will
already
be at
be up
WrestleMania.
2-1. But Brock will already be up 2-1. What will be the incentive at that point?
Just a title
Like
match
when
at that point.
well,
Brock is up 2-1 and he's like, yeah, I got your number. I can take the title from you. I know, but it'll be 2-2.
that pigeonholes Oba, bro, to me. Right? Because Oba is only then built for Brock. Right? Nobody, you know what I mean? Because so
I
now
do think it pigeonholes him for real. I do. I do think it pigeonholes him, and I don't like that per se because I think Brock did what he needed to do at WrestleMania. I didn't like him
absolutely.
losing. I didn't like Oba losing to Brock at the show that happened previously. What show was that?
Backlash or whatever.
No, they didn't
Was
mention
it
Backlash. Is that? Was it? Did they have another pay per
was
view?
it back?
Nah, maybe it was Backlash. I don't know. Maybe it was Backlash. So yeah, he defeated, no, it wasn't Backlash. It was something else. I forget the name of it though. Last month. Tribal Con. Was it
I mean, but to your
Flash in
point though,
Italy? Yeah.
okay, but to your point about people losing steam, just think about when the Samoan Werewolf debuted and everybody including us was talking about the match between Jacob and Roman and how much it was slapped. And they had a slapper. It didn't matter. Respect. That's not part of course for us.
I disagree that it was. I mean, it was a good match. I disagree that it was a banger per se. But hey, it's just to each his own. But it didn't matter, like you said. To me, like if you for the finish matters. The finish of the matches matter. The finish matters, and how I judge it. And not that it's a bad finish, but it's not. It's a non-conclusive one. It's a non-conclusive of like who really got the best of the guy. And then they had a good match again at the
That's a lot of this
Combat.
booking though. That's a lot of this booking though. And as a whole, because a lot of people are hot. Right? That there is a lot. I mean, I know you say LA Knight ain't you say he cooled down. I mean, and that's just again, like you said, to each his own. You know what I mean? Because LA Knight is a popper for me on the mic backstage
Oh,
segments. What he
100%.
got going with Adam Pierce. Like the story is building, and it feels like it matters. So as they're presenting him, as it feel like it matters, I'm investing myself as if it matters. And so that's
I
one of
think
the
that's what they
things.
want.
Like
Yeah, they want LA Knight.
ever since their backstage joint, right? Where he well, isn't that the name of the show, whatever they call it? Where he gift off the Money in the Bank situation. And he came back behind the curtain and he got scolded. He real life said, like, nigga, I was not part of the script. I did not know that they was about to hit me on camera and tell me I fucked up. You know what I mean? So like, and we said in the monologue, you never know who eye you have,
Unreal.
who ear you have. Unreal. Okay, yeah, respect. You never know who eye you have, who ear you have. You never know and we've seen on Unreal how things live and die with producer, creative, performer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really can affect a lot. And I think that the investment or the emotional investment within LA Knight through that moment was, I believe, organic afterwards, right? Because we was like, damn, nigga, you ain't even let we've been riding with this nigga. You we ain't even give him a chance, nigga. That United States champ, everybody get the United States championship. And Jacob Fatu got the United States championship. Nigga, Trick got the United States championship. Nigga, what you do at the United States championship? That's the thing. Like, nigga, no disrespect to Harley Race United States championship, nigga. But after you get the United States championship, what the fuck happens next? That's the real thing. So, like, yes, he got the United States championship. He lost that fatal 4-way at the Royal Rumble. He's lost we was before the podcast. We've been off Freeze Wrestling for a year. Nigga, before we left the podcast, it was like, nigga, LA Knight, this gotta be his moment. He gotta win the Rumble. He gotta win the Money in the Bank. He gotta win something. He ain't win jack shit. So, like, right now, and I don't want to dismiss Oba's rise for a white man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that. You know, if I gotta choose one, step aside, LA Knight. You know what I'm saying? Let Oba step to the forefront. Respect. You're long in the tooth too, nigga. You 40. Watch out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, real life though, I do believe when we talk about deserving or whatever the case may be, he probably don't. He's probably not the reason why people go to a wrestling show. Realistically,
LA Knight.
LA Knight, but he's definitely not the reason why they turn away. I can tell you that.
On Monday, Oba said it's a spoiler that he's going to win King of the Ring. So that's the only thing that made me say, are they going to actually make it a spoiler and give this guy? Because he said he's going to kill Brock before that match, and he got his ass beat. So is he just making a bunch of checks his ass can't cash, and he's like, oh, I'm going to win King of the Ring. It's a spoiler, and niggas lying his ass off because he can't do it.
But that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt Oba more than anything.
He's already hurt a little bit to me.
You think?
I mean, it's still hot. Don't get me wrong. He's still hot no matter what. Like, he's hot as he could be, with losing to Brock, right? However, if they keep on compounding him talking and not cashing it in, then yeah, it's gonna be a problem. I wouldn't have him say that line if he's gonna lose King of the Ring. So that's the only thing that got me to think, maybe Oba will win this thing.
So he gotta demolish Dom, right?
Of course.
Okay.
Unless Brock shows up and interferes, and even that, then it's like, oh, well, your spoilers don't work. It's only Paul Heyman spoilers. But
would that give him an out? Would that be something justifiable to you if Brock foiled?
I think personally, because here's the thing, I have two ways of thinking about this. I think about it from a standpoint of what I would do to protect the guy, and I think about it from a perspective of what the general audience is gonna feel with this guy. I think the general audience will accept it. Me, I don't like it. Me personally, I don't like it. I want to make him like a Thanos type character. That's my vision for him, is that he is like Brock in that facet of like, he is, when he shows up, all hell's gonna break loose, and he's unstoppable. That's why I don't like him being stopped in Italy. I get it. 7 F5s, went through a table, stood up, came in, almost got his arm broken off, but he picked him up. It looked strong, don't get me wrong, but he still lost. He still was down for a 3 count, and he didn't stand up afterwards. He was sitting down when Brock walked away. So he looked weak to me. I wouldn't have given that to him yet. But if you're trying to make him a sympathetic baby face, I can see how maybe that could work. If I'm looking at it from the wrestling standpoint of things.
Yeah, Oba can't be a sympathetic baby face though going up against Roman. He has to step in there as an equal. Period.
As a heel?
No, as an equal.
As an equal.
he can't step in as no sympathetic babyface. He has to step
Only
in there
way is if Jacob
as
is
the
beating
ruler
him
and
up
the
on the way.
conqueror.
Only way is if they're
Huh?
jumping him. That's the only way he's sympathetic. If they're jumping him, he can be sympathetic. You know,
If
like
they're
don't
if they're jumping him and he's Dola, I'm gonna be like that's the same. Like I don't want that. I don't want that reverberation of the bloodline stuff because we tried. They tried to do
I'm
that
not
with
saying I
Seth.
want
On
it.
Monday. No, I'm saying, but they tried to do it with Seth on Monday when Jay they was talking to Seth and Jay was like, I'll be careful how you talk about the family. And Seth was like, I ain't talking about the family. Respect to you. I talked about Roman Reigns. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't say nothing about the family. Respect the family.
But then he talked about the family and said you ain't
But
good enough. Basically, to their face.
I thought no. He just said I thought y'all be better than this. I'm being like that's being respectful and that's being straight up to your face. Like, hey man, I thought y'all nigga was. I thought you was. Hey, Big Jim, you don't want none of these opportunities. This Roman just done it around here. You won't like because like let's be honest. What Big Jim done did besides knock up Naomi and take her off TV? I mean, he a heel right now. You know what I'm saying? What this nigga Big Jim did, bro? He lost to Jay at WrestleMania 40 in a match that got cut. Right? He was always the outside looking in on the main event. Jay Uso rise to stardom when he was in during the pandemic and after the pandemic when he was back outside. Jimmy was always been an afterthought, realistically. So I'm trying to figure out like once you break free from that and you are that and he convinced Jay Uso like, yeah, man, you won the world championship, man. Let's be the best tag team of all time. Let's be out here. I can't do nothing by myself. Let's be the best tag team. Now you ain't in the tag team more. You lost the titles, and then Roman tells Jay to go back and win the title. Like, where is the pride from Jimmy? Like, where is the like?
That's a story for him, honestly, and we'll figure out, I guess, as the year goes on, where he stands. But I think that we're doing the same thing we've done with Jimmy for 6 years. Jimmy's been there for 6 years. I'm sorry, like when he came back from injury and right hand man Jay was right by Roman's side. He was doing the same thing. Like we're like, and he's getting sunned by Roman.
Like a cuck, bro.
He's never stood up for himself, and then and stayed away. You know, he'll stand up for himself, and then he's next thing you know, he's right behind Roman, looking stupid.
Like Stockholm syndrome, my nigga. Like,
Exactly.
bro.
So and they did the same. Now they're doing the same thing with Jacob. I
Well,
think
Jacob
people
don't
are
fall in line.
brainwashed, bro.
Jacob don't fall in line though. So when Jay tried to tell him to get Seth, Jacob looked and walked away. And then in the next backstage segment,
Jacob falls in line
Jacob.
to Jay. Jacob falls in line to Roman though. That's exactly what he's saying, and that's still to me weak because Roman needs to get put in place. He's never gotten put in his place, you know, and I'm still waiting for that. He's never said
Yeah,
sorry.
but
He's never
who puts the
apologized.
king? Who puts the king in a place? Who puts the emperor in a
Somebody's
place?
gonna have
Like,
to do it. Maybe the ruler. Maybe the ruler. We'll see. You know, and I think that's the marquee match. It's just a matter business wise if they want to sell Minneapolis SummerSlam out or if they want to sell out Saudi Arabia, which I think Saudi Arabia's in the bag already. Like Saudi Arabia, like
you're not selling Saudi Arabia. That's Saudi Arabia. If they, we just talked about buying stuff. If them niggas ain't bought out the pillage to fill up that goddamn stadium, then don't even go.
Exactly.
So it's sold out. Girl.
Yeah, it's gonna,
when they made the bag, they made the
I'm
bodies.
not even sure if I can get a ticket. You know, like I'm not. You know, if I wanted to, trust me, I'm not going. But I'm not even sure if I wanted to. I can
You
get
saw my face. I'm like, nigga, you going? I'm about to say, nigga, what the fuck?
Nah, if I wanted to. But like, yeah, they're gonna sell out Saudi. I think that's why they're gonna like it's gonna help them sell out the next WrestleMania. But if you want to sell out Minneapolis, give people Oba and Roman. Yeah, I get it. You can do Roman in LA Knight. You can't do Roman and Seth because Seth clearly lost. But you got Roman's LA Knight, Roman and Dom, Roman and Royce Keys, Roman and Finn Balor, Roman and Jay, and that's it. Those are your options. And there's only one of them that is a guaranteed sellout to me, and that's Obafemi. And if you do that, where we have him versus Brock Lesnar night one, and he's pulling double duty, and he's there night two to go at Roman, you're making a star, 100% making a star, and I think that's how you really go to the next. You redeem yourself from everything you've done with the, lack of pushing certain people, whether it be all the people we mentioned in Jacob, Braun Breaker. We've had issues with Carmelo in the past. We've had issues with a bunch of stars who've had a moment where they were super over and they just didn't pull the trigger. LA Knight in the past. And I love LA Knight and what he's doing right now. I really do. Everything he's done has been entertaining to me and logically sound. But what I really want from LA Knight is a heel turn. And I'm not sure if they're going there, but I would love a heel turn.
How would it be here? Like because in your
Same way Drew did. It's pretty much the same gimmick as Drew right now. Let's be real. He's doing the same thing, and it's low key. WWE's been doing the same storylines for the past 3 years. With Cody, he wins by somehow ref not seeing something or getting involved. The person complains, whether it's Randy Orton, KO, Drew McIntyre, now it's Gunther. But Roman Reigns, it's oh yeah, it's this tribal chief thing. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna go for the Ulafala. Jacob flat out said I don't want the Ulafala, and somehow he still was fighting for the Ulafala in Italy. And then he'll finally have somebody say, "Oh, I'm not cool with the bloodline," and they'll fight for taking Roman's, just taking the top from Roman, but then the bloodline gets involved, and that's what it's been like for the past however many years, and it's lazy to me. He needs some real adversity at the top of the main event scene, and that's either going to come from a couple people. It can only be Cody, Seth, Randy, and maybe Obafemi. And Obafemi, those are the only people I see really threatening Roman's power as the top of the food chain. Maybe Drew if he comes back. That's it.
It's limited, very limited,
Yeah.
limited of like what can matter and what can limited on what can matter and what makes sense.
I
You know
think
what I'm
Roman
saying?
uses the bloodline as a crutch, as a storyline crutch. I'm done with that shit. I want to see him stand on his own again and use his new persona to get shit cracking and moving from beginning of the storyline to the end of the storyline. You and Obafemi, shit. I mean, I get it. Jacob Fatu's now there, so you almost have to involve it now. But I really would just love him and Roman's story with no one else involved.
I saw Roman post something on the socials on Javon Evans and watching the match with
Oh yeah,
Javon.
Javon. That's the other
So
person who's on the King of the Ring.
I was
So
about to
yeah,
say like Roman and Javon will be a nice story to tell. I know Javon will lose, but that'll be a great spot to give. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I like Javon. SummerSlam though, main event.
I mean, my thing is new, fresh, and if they want to find somebody that he can beat and keep the title on Raw, if that's the goal, because if Roman beats LA Knight again, he's dead in the water. If Roman beats Oba at something, he's dead in the water. You see what I'm saying? Like Roman can beat Javon, and it's like, aw, get him next time,
Javon's
kid.
selling tickets in Minneapolis. This is a 2-night SummerSlam.
Man,
That's the thing.
we talking about Saudi printing tickets of wrestling. I think WWE would they print. Many.
I mean, we saw it at WrestleMania, bro. In Vegas.
Well, I know, but
Same-
that was Vegas. But that was Vegas again, and that was Vegas. That we talking about. I know what you're saying, but that was Vegas again. But Minneapolis don't get much. You know what I'm saying? It's the summertime. It ain't really
People
nothing
are
going
flying
on in
into
Minneapolis.
SummerSlam. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this is a like 1 night event. All right, yeah, y'all saw that. 2 nights, night 2, you're gonna want to sell out. And Javon and Roman does not ring bells right now to me. It does not
Okay.
ring that type of bell. I think that people go into that saying, "Oh, it'll be a fun match," and we know what's gonna happen. There's no intrigue. There's no question mark. There's no maybe. Like if I'm going into a Roman Oba match, I think it can go either way. I think I can go either way. You know, I'm going into a Roman Seth match, it can go either way. I'm going into a Roman LA Knight match.
It's a one-way street, nigga.
Yeah, I don't think LA Knight's winning beating him now. Unfortunately, because I think LA Knight's doing great work, but he's gonna have to turn heel for him to get the championship. I'm sorry, it's just how it's gonna have to be for him. Unfortunately, same way with Drew. Drew's come back heel. That's gonna be if Roman's in sight. It probably will be Roman in sight when he gets back, and he's gonna probably have maybe he gets a victory, but probably gonna lose too. You know, but more than anything, I don't want it to be stale with the bloodline. Like this shit is gonna be dead come November if we're doing another bloodline war games match. I'm swear to God, bro.
Well, with that, let's not kill it. Let's keep it alive. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it alive.
We'll see. We'll see.
Let's keep it alive. Let's keep it alive. Unfortunately, like the Spurs did not do of keeping this series alive. They did the motherfucking water. Cause ain't no way you come back winning this series, nigga. Ain't no way.
That's
ain't no way.
that one gotta hurt. That one gotta hurt.
I mean, you lost a few at home that, like, yeah, it gotta hurt, but you scrapping, you down 2-1, you at the Garden, you are whooping ass. I mean, the mob just whooping ass, and the Knicks walk you down. You have another boneheaded play to end the game. Yeah, you dead in the water, cuss. About to cook this a cow, my nigga.
Yeah, they're cooked, man. Before we get up out of here, back. Oh man, back to the Rebellious Ben conversation. Let me ask you something. If he wasn't, if he was black, would it be more interesting for you?
For Legos, no. I'll have the same thing.
All right.
It's really the Legos.
All right.
It's really the Legos. It's the Legos.
My thing is, it's the blatant corruption. It's not really about the
Legos
to me.
Yes.
It's about the blatant corruption going on right now. How the cops mannered, and we see it on video how they've worked. We're seeing it. Like I don't get how this is not already solved and like court cases already been done. But I really think it's important to show that, yo, guys, this shit is fucked up.
And I agree. And I agree with you. I
goes crazy for everybody out here because it feels like it's just us sometimes, And I just was just trying to showcase that because that's to me what I'll take it from.
Yes. And I complete and again I complete and. For where we are in the seriousness, we talk healthcare and food stamps and Medicaid and the corruption within our presidency, and we just had to talk about Henry Nowak and Cyrus, right? Just blatant stuff. You know what I mean? Like we talked about police corruption, and so I don't mean again. It's not dismissive to what you found interesting about corruption. I then said the white because I do feel like the work that he is doing or is being bringing notoriety from even Sean King, wherever he hiding out from his embezzlement, like that nigga wasn't even getting that type of motherfucking look. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I haven't seen this guy in ages.
Or D Ray with the blue vest from back in the day.
Oh my God, bringing it back to BLM,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like activists of black culture, stuff like that was really making names or headways and stuff like that. And then we find out the dumb niggas is like, oh, nigga, you making it bad for everybody, nigga. You know, BLM, same thing. Them niggas buying houses and like It's so
Yeah. This is
it
where we're getting to. Like, this is why I'm saying, like, the next movement is beyond
yeah yeah
this. It's
yeah
the
yeah
next movement is seeing stuff like this and relating it to
yeah
other things that, and like, yo, there's a problem with cops. Yeah, not just with
yeah
us, niggas. Like, it's the problem
yeah
with it. Like, it's a
yeah
problem with the buddiness, the who
yes
the
yes
kowtowing to corporations, and we have to come together. For
and educational institutions. We brought about it, bring it back
education.
with Texas.
Yeah,
Nigga, they
education
got
institutes for sure.
and the judicial system. You're correct. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah, judicial
correct.
system. Yeah, so we as a people, there's more of us than there are them. So it doesn't matter if you're white, black, whatever. You gotta speak truth to power, and our fights are more alike than you guys think. Our fights are more similar than you guys think. And the next big movement is not about the skin color. It's not about right versus left. It's about the human beings of this country saying we're not putting up with people using power to manipulate us and to control us and to and to unfairly harm our lives. Yeah, it's Legos. Yeah, it's $200,000. It's money. I talk about it's just money because I don't like value money like that either. But the corruption and you have it on video and all that stuff, I think is the message I want to tell the people that it doesn't matter what you are, who you are, where you are. If they want to make you a villain and make you an issue and arrest you for nothing, even when you're trying to help somebody, they can do that. And if that makes you angry, maybe a black kid getting shot in the back doesn't make you angry, which is crazy to me. But maybe somebody Lego set and the kid trying to help that the cops are corrupted over there in Utah, and now they're working with the LA police, and this kid has to run to Mexico. Maybe that gets you angry, gets you to wake up. Maybe there's something to these black people, what they're saying. And if that's what you take from this, then I hope you do. If that's what it takes, and we can come together and fight against the corruption when it comes to the corporations, when it comes to the police, law enforcement, when it comes to the judicial system. There's a lot of work that has to be done, and like I always say, I understand the apathy, and I feel it all the time too. But I hope that we can all, see the bigger picture sometimes, because we're here for a reason, not to just sit here and take it up the ass from the government.
That's a great ending. That's a great landing spot because Lord knows taking it up the ass ain't nothing, niggas.
We do not do
Bringing
that
it back.
shit.
We do not do that.
We do not do that. We are not with that shit. Respect to those who are with that shit. All is love. Everything is everything, guys. But tune back in with us tomorrow with the Everything Is podcast, because we are the zeitgeist, we are the culture. I'm your host, Chidi Bang. It's my tag team partner, my brother, Chris the Most High, Joint Reliance.
Absolutely, my guy.
We'll be back
Yo,
tomorrow.
man. And if y'all ain't never saw this show before, we do this about everything. Everything. Marvel, wrestling, Madden, it don't matter. Politics, Stephen A. Smith, it don't matter.
This is my brother. Because I only do this with people I love and care about.
Yo, Dan said that about Stu Gods, and I don't like that.
Peace out, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.